otherwise known as the House of Drift. Arguably one of the most iconic drift tracks in the world. It's been on the FD roster since 2004 and only one of 2 tracks since day one. The stage is set with ideal conditions to crown a champion. Here we are. It is a beautiful night. The sun is setting. The lights are on. We're talking about the Type S lights. This is the Type S title fight because a title will be crowned here tonight. The Link ECU PRO2 Championship culminates here this evening. It's a Saturday night here at Irwindale Speedway, the House of Drift. So let's kick off our United States Air Force opening ceremony with our oath of enlistment. Today marks the first step of military service in the United States Air Force for these 14 patriotic young men and women. Today they will take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Here at the Irwindale Speedway starts the journey for these amazing recruits to fly, fight, and win. Congratulations to you all, and thank you for your service to this great nation. Leading today's ceremony is Lieutenant Colonel Charles Barton, commander of the 369th Recruiting Squadron based in Encino, California. Down to you, Lieutenant Colonel.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I want to say to each and every one of you, thank you for your patriotism, and I look forward to calling you fellow brothers and sisters in arms here very soon. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me according to the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations.
All right, so if you would, please stand and remove your hats for the national anthem. right, let's introduce you to our top 14 drivers because we have 2 drivers that are not here that we're supposed to get by. So here we go. Starting with the first car park. Thank you again to those young men and women with their oath of enlistment into the United States Air Force. Here we go. First car park coming to us from Minnesota. You can see the tire stacks on the door. He is currently in the hunt for a championship. We'll see. He's currently 4th in points. Austin Mata. Coming to us all the way from Las Vegas, baby. He's got that Coro Works on the side of his BMWs on Achilles tires, as all Pro2 drivers are. Say hello to Blake Olson. We saw this driver do battle in top 32, and here he is. He is coming to us from Vegas as well. It is Nick Novak. Get some flowers for Dmitry Brutsky. Weird flex. All right, there you go. Yeah, the giant killer there, Nick Novak. Moving right along, coming to us from Illinois, Inertia Garage. It is Derek Madison. Another Tire Stacks vehicle in the mix. He's got that S13 coming to us from New Jersey. Excuse me, S15, S14.5, S chassis, Steve Bisco. All right, some more Tire Stacks love here. And coming to us from the East Coast as well. Say hello to Ricky Hoffman. The only female in competition out here, coming all the way from Florida, now living here in Southern California. Top One Oil S14, it is Kelsey Rawlings. Coming all the way from Perth. No, where's he at? Oh, no, just kidding. Psych. Just kidding. All the way from Switzerland. You could see it. I can't even pronounce it, but he is a talented driver, and he is out here in this serious weapon of a vehicle. Say hello to Josh Reynolds. He's just from down the freeway in a beautiful looking E30, the Haley Motorsports vehicle. It is Andy Haley. Another driver less than an hour from here. He's about to hold fast another beautiful looking BMW. More modern than that. Make some noise for Micah Diaz. Next up, the M-Spec Performance Don't You Know S15. Coming to us from Minnesota, Daniel Stuke. This driver went hard on the wall, but you gotta love him. You gotta love all his team, the AHA. You can see it there, the E36 from Colorado. Make some love for Josh Love. Yeah, make some love. That's what I said. Deal with it. Coming to us another East Coaster here. Great looking car, the Power Racing S15 from New York. It is Mike Power. Last but definitely not least of our 14 vehicles out here in competition, unofficially could be your 2020 Link ECU Pro2 champion. Never settle. It is Dmitry Brutsky. There are your 14 drivers. The sky is ablaze. The tires will be ablaze in just a moment. Don't go anywhere as the action will continue here. Our United States Air Force opening ceremony. You can see the city off in the distance. I'm Jared Dienda. My co-host Ryan Sage. We'll get Lorette Nickel. She's actually going live on Instagram right now. So she's, if you want to follow some really cool things, watch both our live stream and live on Instagram. Lorette Nickel's got the Formula D account. She's taking it over and getting all the shots. So as we have our AEM virtual fan zone, what is up?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, there we go. Put your hands in
back
I
at it
can see. Oh, man,
Yeah.
Ryan, we had a lot of, Brooks Church in the building. What's up, Brooks? I see you there, homeboy.
Hey, I'm going to get you guys pizza, all right?
There's Paco. You guys, okay,
Some pizza.
enough pizza talk here. Adam LZ is not competing today, FYI, for all you trolls out there blowing up the internet, so don't just start typing pizza and LZ. As Ryan, this was a lot of fun yesterday. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah, I love it. The AEM Virtual Fan Zone is a great addition. It's cool to interact with the fans because we can't have them here. You know, unfortunately, that's the way that it's been for some of these markets that we've gone to. We had fans in Texas and St. Louis early in the season, but California is a no-go, so we are celebrating with them in spirit.
Right, that's right, and virtually. So AEM Intakes has been a leader in the development of precision-tuned air intake systems since 1987. The AEM dry flow filters are track-proven, winning more FD championships than any other air filter brand. If you're looking for proven horsepower increase for your car, check out AEMintakes.com today. All right, well, speaking of the United States Air Force opening ceremony, I got a chance to talk to one of the United States Air Force's own.
About that time, it's Aim High Air Force time. We got Technical Sergeant Lindsay here in recruiting. And where are you originally from, Technical Sergeant?
I'm originally from Pompano Beach, Florida. That's near Miami.
Nice. And why did you join the Air Force?
Well, my primary reason for joining the Air Force was for the educational benefits and the travel opportunities.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how long have you been in?
12 years now. December will make it 12 years.
That's awesome. Congratulations. And I'm sure you've gained a wealth of knowledge prior to entering into the Air Force.
Yes, sir. I have.
And what other roles have you played? Because now you're in recruiting, right? What other positions have you had within the United States Air Force?
Well, I've started out as an operations manager, where I basically did facility maintenance repair. I supported the logistics for that. And I did production control and all that. So that was my primary job. And then I got the opportunity to become a recruiter.
So what do you tell young men and women that come in about, just wanting to get in the United States Air Force, just overall?
Oh, I tell them it's a great stepping stone. There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of benefits that it has to offer. So depending on what situation you have, just try it out. You know what I mean? If you're interested, just go for it.
That's great. I like it. You could apply that to anything, but obviously, being in the United States Air Force. All right. Are you a car guy? And what's your favorite thing about Formula Drift? Are you excited? Because it's a closed door event, but I believe we might sneak you in.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm excited. My favorite part about the Formula Drift is like the actual competition with the lead car and the chase car. So I'm excited to see that. Solid. Again, we're practicing social distancing, wearing masks, but I think you're a VIP, so we'll get you in. But man, thank you so much. Thank you once again. And where can people find more information about recruiting into the United States Air Force? For more information about the United States Air Force, go to airforce.com. It's easy as that. Thank you so much, sir. And send it.
Here we are up in the booth with the judges, and again, practicing social distancing. Give me some bow there, Ryan. There we go. We got Chris Yule, Brian Egger, and Ryan Lontaine, our three judges, ready to scrutinize all the battles here to finally not only find out the winner here at round 4, the final round of the Link ECU Pro2 Championship, but we'll eventually find out who the champion will be. And we were talking about the scenarios here, Ryan. I got a little confused because this needs to happen, that needs to happen, this. But basically, Brudski has a couple bye runs. Josh Love is still in contention. Austin Mata's pretty much counted out, correct?
He's got a long chase ahead of him. The focus really is about Brudski, but what makes it weird is that Brudski is going to have an automatic pass into the Grade 8 because Chase Schmidt is not here. Now, where things get interesting is what happens with Josh Love. If Josh Love makes his top 16 battle and his Grade 8 battle, then they would meet in the Final Four. And that's where things get interesting because we could see a swapping of the championship points at that moment. This will give us a better idea of how much point separation there is. Now remember, Jonathan Hurst is out. Once Dmitry Brudski crosses the line in his Grade 8 battle, Jonathan Hurst has been eliminated from championship contention. So then we shift our attention to Love and Brudski. And you can see the point separation there is much closer. So those are our two major contenders. Austin Mata is down a little bit of a ways. If any of these guys make their battles, he's going to be eliminated from the championship run. So we're going to be paying close attention to that to find out tonight the champion and also the Rookie of the Year.
That's right, yeah, Rookie of the Year. And, of course, who wants to win here? So the AEM Virtual Fan Zone, who do you think is going to win the championship? We, again, have all these young guns fighting for the top spot. Winner of round 4. What do you guys think? Oh, I'm hearing Love out there.
My boy Hooman, Hurst is good.
Yeah, unfortunately,
who
Houman
was it? Who
Rahimi's
said
not
that?
here, so I don't know who said that. That's very unfortunate. Again,
I love to see a good battle.
Again, pizza can't win. So if you guys vote for pizza, pizza cannot win the battle. All right, so this was earlier today here, and this was Joe Lynn here. Brutski, this was in practice. If you did not see this, Brutski was practicing.
This is scary.
And watch Lynn. He goes hard out of that first front clip, and then whammo. And we only sensationalize it because he did walk away. That is priority. Safety is number one. You can see that back right wheel absolutely snapped off, but the left wheel, watch this. Can you dig it? Yes, Joe Lynn can dig it into the track. And if you haven't seen photos or videos of it, both a couple of our judges, Brian Eggert, Ryan Lontaine, went down there and he dug into the pavement. Lynn, hold your head high, man. This is one heck of a track. This is Irwindale, and that's what you expect. And there you can see our three judges right there. You got Chris Ewell, Brian Eggert, and Ryan Lontaine. Wave to your mom, dad, your girlfriend, your wife, whatever you got there. And who's okay? Spotters they're getting down over there. Ryan, what do you expect here? What's going to transpire as far as, or what is maybe some expectations in regards to battles?
It's got to be an interesting kind of psychological experience for Brutski because he's going to sit back for 2 rounds of competition. Basically, he's going to sit back for the top 16 and be right into the Great 8. And we're going to know what happens to Josh Love much quicker than that because he's got a battle up against Nick Novak.
Sorry, real quick. And Novak took out Hurst earlier. Can he take out, I mean, he could potentially be the double giant killer here.
And our 2 rookies are Love and Mata. So they have a Rookie of the Year battle going on as well. It's hard to know what to expect because this Pro 2 class has been predictable in some sense, but in another sense, it's hard to predict what's going to happen here. I think Brutski has kind of established himself as the guy to beat, and given where he is going to be going tonight all the way to the Great 8, it would be hard-pressed to imagine that the odds are against him. However, if they do meet in the Final Four, we're going to have a fireworks of a final.
And I think the other thing is you're not just battling another driver, you're battling the track. That is the factor that, is just rearing its ugly head. And, you call it ugly, you call it mean, but regardless, it's beautiful because it does have so much history. And we were fortunate enough to have Robbie Nishida on earlier, and he elaborated to that. He lives in Japan, he was commuting over here, he works with FD Japan, and the dialogue that continually comes up is a lot of drivers aspire to drift at this iconic track. And here these guys are. Like I always say, analogously saying, you're a baseball player, you grow up, and then you finally play at Wrigley Field or Dodger Stadium, whatever your team is. That's like that.
Yeah, and as we look at the track map here, I think the judges have done a phenomenal job of identifying where these decel zones are. We pulled data from telemetry systems on the cars before they started or after practice to kind of show where the natural decels are. And those areas have always been contentious over the years because we see a lot of collision and contact, especially from inside clip 1 to outer zone number 2. But remember, we have a brand new feature this year. We have the hook back around the center light pole, and that third outside zone does not have a wall there. So drivers are being encouraged to not hit those red cylindrical cones that basically are to be treated as if it were a wall itself. And we have seen a few incompletes from drivers going just a little bit too hard there. So different challenges this year. Obviously, the presence of, or the lack of presence of fans is certainly, I think, a factor. I feel like the drivers kind of feed off of that. But once competition starts, it's all business. We're going to find out who's going to be a champion tonight. Yeah, I was talking with Kevin Wells, who's part of our FD staff, and he was saying, is it weird without the fans? Yeah, of course, but we got our, AEM digital fans chiming in. This is how Hurst lost earlier, and he said he was having a problem. I can't remember exactly. I know I asked him, but I can't recall exactly right now. But super bummed. But Novak, he's no slouch, but I would say Hurst took himself out right here. Look at that wide swing around that front clip, right off of that second outside zone. That was the window of opportunity. It looked like 2 tires off, and that's what really sealed his fate. Yeah, and we see that a little bit. It looked like the car was shutting down on Hurst on outside zone 2. He's getting super close to the wall there, and then when he got back on throttle, he just completely missed that second inside clip. Now, we know that inside clips are an opportunity or an area where passes can happen. I thought Novak was actually very prudent in that situation by not forcing the pass. It gave him a clear advantage. Remember, Hurst also called a competition timeout between the runs, and so we could just infer from that there was a problem with the vehicle. Now he's going to have to do a Daijiro Yoshihara a la 2010. Sit on the sidelines and wait for this to play out. The problem is that Brudski right now really has no competition in his way. He's going to watch what happens in the top 16 battles, and then he's either going to be facing Steve Misko or Andy Haley in the Grade 8.
All right, so right on. Well, unfortunately for Hurst, like you said, beating the beat over there and just hanging out. Got a serious techno vibe going right now, dude. Ryan, is this DJ Ryan Sage a la 1996?
Nah.
All right, so you can
I'm
see.
fine with it,
You're I know you're fine. You're always fine with it. Here we go. This is it. Our first battle of the top 16. We got Haley and Misko. Haley and Misko doing battle for our first battle of the top 16. The Royal Purple top 16. I might add the official engine oil of Formula Drift. Here we go. Andy Haley will be out front in that E30. Misko chasing him down. Let's see how they handle it going into the big bank. Get some, and Haley not even initiating, shutting it down right out of the gate. So let's see what's going on here. Ryan, we're even hearing from the judges that, in the chase position, you need to allow that lead car enough room to initiate. I'm hearing murmurs that he might have impeded in the initiation, and Andy didn't want to throw it in.
Well, I think we know for sure it wasn't a false start, so it doesn't look like we're going to be regridding them. We're not getting any signal of that. We didn't see the light go on, so this will be at least a half of a pole here, and it looks like we'll switch up positions. Let's take a look at this again. Misko on the lower part of your screen there gets right next to, I could see why a judge would say that. Whether or not that was what caused Haley to stop drifting or to not start initiating, that's going to be a tough call there.
It looks like Andy's just going right.
It may have been that Andy was slowing down prior to that, and that's why Misko was coming up on him so close, relative to what we've seen in the past. Usually there's a bit of a gap that gets established here, and Misko was coming up really tight on him.
I mean, with Andy just pulling right back to the line, it looks like he had an issue. So I don't think that's the case. If he was kind of going to boycott or, say like, hey, he impeded. So we are hearing that it was a mechanical issue. So as we are hearing from the officials down there on the start line. So Andy Haley, unfortunately, just already assumes the position and goes back to the start line.
Yeah, so that is more or less what I saw. You could see Andy slowing down prior to Misko getting up close like that, but it definitely was worth a secondary look, and now we will get the second half of this battle underway.
All right, Steve Misko will now lead. Gas Factory, TireStats.com. S Chassis coming in the mix. Guns a-blazing right out of the gate into that big bank. Misko, mid to high on the bank. Andy slightly lower here past that front clip. Now coming into that inner bank. Whoa, here comes Haley. Tucks right into that smoke trail and then dips out of it, noses out, takes a very awkward line there, Haley. And now into that final outside zone. Misko, as long as he keeps his composure like he just did, Misko will be getting the victory, moving on into the Grade 8. So unfortunately, it was over before it began for Andy Haley.
Yeah, it was a very strong position there for Misko. Really, all he needed to do on this run was to not incomplete. Starts off by laying down a pretty clean lead run here, mid-line on the bank. You can see Haley trying his best to try to force some kind of air on Misko. Dives in super tight, and he's going to get lost in the smoke for a second, then comes up as Misko is approaching this inside clip. Goes almost 3 tires off there. As you can see, the white painted lines are the outlines of our course. And then right past the decel zone into that final zone is Misko. Haley catching up to him there. But like you said, Jared, too little too late, and that is going to be all she wrote for Andy Haley.
And a lot of these guys, you got to think they're not driving. They didn't drift or have any practice in, they didn't drive earlier, just practice. They didn't compete until now. And with the sun setting, the track is definitely changing, conditions. And Ryan Turk even talked about that, going from earlier in the day to the evening last night here at round 7 of the Pro Championship. the conditions of the course is constantly changing, just with the heat and the sun and all that, and then now with the sun setting, definitely changes it up.
Yeah, for sure. We heard Ryan Turk talk a little bit about that last night, and obviously he had a big driver mistake that was probably in part caused by those changes.
Yep. All right, waiting for the verdict here. And here we go. Slide him left for Haley or right for Steve Misko. And you got to assume, there it is. Steve Misko gets the win and advances on into the Grade 8. Our first driver into the Grade 8. All right, and here we go. So it's Dmitry Brutsky.
Well, it goes without saying, he's got to do this.
He's got to do, yeah, he's got to do
Don't have a mechanical.
Yeah, don't have a mechanical issue. Never settle, as it says. That's his motto. That's his theme. It's on his car. You know, we saw him grab a victory earlier this year at a previous round, and now here he is, Brutsky.
He's just got to prove that the car is mechanically sound, and he'll have secured that Grade 8 path.
And now, I mean, I hope him and his spotter, which I know ESSA Autosports, this was a former ESSA Autosports BMW, and a proven chassis at that. So here we go. Dmitry Brutsky moving one step closer to a potential 2020 championship, and look at that. I mean, with nobody on the course, he's still going for it. And there's a good opportunity for him to get familiar, get mated with this course. I mean, that is textbook. That is a sign of somebody that is really, really hungry and could get this 2020 championship. Brutsky crossing the finish line, and there it is. So he will move on into the Grade 8. Ryan, here it is coming into this round of competition with Jonathan Hurst out. Changes the game. Brutsky moves up. Love still in contention. We're about to see him. He is the next battle. Love and Novak. And coincidentally, Nick Novak, is the one that took out Jonathan Hurst in that battle. Theoretically, Hurst took himself out with that wide swing, but Nick Novak needed to show up, and he did just that.
Yeah, so we are definitely going to be watching this battle with very close attention. Just to give you some of the scenarios here, if Brutsky makes it to the Grade 8, which he just did, he has eliminated Jonathan Hurst from the championship. If Brutsky gets to 4th, then Love needs to get to 2nd to win the championship. If Brutsky gets to 3rd, then Love needs to win. So if he loses this battle right here, then Dmitry Brutsky would be your champion.
There we go. All right, 2 runs to rule them all. This is run 1 of the Novak-Love battle. Love Novak. Here we go. And notably, Love and his team working feverishly to get the car back up and running. If you didn't see the crash that happened on Thursday, go to his social media. But right now, no Love loss for him or his team transitioning past that front clip. This is Love's first go in a head-to-head battle here at Irwindale, and Novak and Love both doing a great job. Good transition in that final outside zone. The Big Duck Club brings it across the finish line. AHA After Hours. How we doing in our AEM virtual fan zone? What is up? Who you pulling for?
Come on.
Love or Brutsky?
Well, here we go. Big battle here with Josh Love out front, Nick Novak in the chase position. You can see a little bit less angle there from Novak as he tries to keep the pace. Nice job by Josh Love, leaving that outside zone at the correct time. Got to that inside clip maybe a little bit early on that transition. Did it set him up good for this second outside zone? He gets right at the lower end of the zone, so he's leaving a little bit left to be desired in the lead position, which, of course, Novak can improve on. But we see some good angle there from Josh Love as he tries to scoot into this final outside zone. But Novak is not getting phased in the chase position. So we've got Love, we've got Brutsky, we've got Mata, all with potential paths. We'll get to Mata soon, but right now the focus is on Josh Love as he will now chase down Nick Novak.
Yeah, Nick Novak here in that Coro Works BMW, lives in Las Vegas. And again, both these guys and Pro2, the official tire of Achilles, the official tire of Pro2. Here we go. Novak, Love initiating. Oh, look at that. Novak high on the bank. Love dropping down a little bit. Quite a bit. Oh, then works it high. Love needs to do something sensational here. Comes down, and this is where he slams. There's got to be a little gun shy or wall shy in this case. Into that second outside zone in the inner bank. Nick Novak could play giant killer not once, but twice. Taking out Hurst earlier, and now Love and Novak. Let's take a look at that again here. Ryan, very interesting turn of events here.
Yeah, that was
wow.
This is a big moment here for Joshua Love, and as you said, Nick Novak doing a great job tonight. Did a favor for Dmitry Brutsky in the top 32 against Jonathan Hurst. Starts off on a midline on the bank, but Josh Love was lower. Now coming through the center section, pretty good job on that inside clip. Good flow through that section and hitting that second outside zone. Love is still lower on the course, and he's not gaining proximity there, so he's just really sacrificing the line without really getting much out of it. Now he kind of gets back in the pocket a little bit here towards the end. Good angle through the finish line, but a pretty strong performance there by Nick Novak out front.
So Ryan, the big story here is, well, one, it looks like Love's got some issues here under the hood, but hats off to his team. The big thing here is if Love gets knocked out, you're saying that Brutsky will be our 2020 Link ECU Pro 2 champion.
Well, it will be unofficially because there's still an outside possibility mathematically for Mata, so I need to go through his scenarios. But Brutsky still needs to make his pass in the grade 8 either way.
Okay, so appreciate that. It's getting stinky up in here, talking about all that tire smoke. And yeah, so as there it is, our side-by-side, Ryan. You know, unfortunately for Love, just on that initiation on the bank, you can see him drop down quite a bit. But Love still fighting for that Formula Drift Pro 2 Rookie of the Year. Yeah, how we doing? AEM Virtual Fan Zone.
One more time.
I'm going Novak. I'm going Novak, baby.
Novak. One more time.
I'm hearing Novaks and one more time. Definitely no love for Love right now.
One more time. One more time.
One more Novak.
One more time.
All right, I'm hearing a couple one more times, Ryan, and a lot of Novak, but the needle doesn't seem to be going the way of Love. That might be Love's fans saying like, hey, this is what's up. Here we go. And there it is. Slide him left for Love, right for Nick Novak as he gets the victory and takes out 2 of the top 3 drivers. Ryan, that is insane.
Yeah.
Novak takes out Josh Love and our points leader, Jonathan Hurst. Wow, Nick Novak is a man on fire right now, and he moves on into the grade 8. Now Josh Love needs to wait and see, not only in regards to the championship, but also into Rookie of the Year. And we did see Brutsky run earlier, but now, you know, it's interesting, man. This is pretty crazy. So Brutsky and Misko will go against each other. Novak and Blake Olson. Olson should be pulling up to the line here in a moment. Both these guys sponsored by Coro Works. Ryan, I see you working the numbers, crunching the numbers to see the scenarios of what could happen here. We'll still revisit the Brutsky Misko. That will be our first battle of the grade 8. The buy runs are a big deal, saying, hey, my car is running, it's in running order. There is our bracket, and that's how it's going to lay out. Brutsky waits, I got to assume, impatiently. Misko. Ryan?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, right now, Dmitry Brutsky has 212 points coming into this event, and he's at least secured 48 right now, so that would give him 250. Austin Mata, his path, you know,
260.
Yeah, 260. Sorry, Austin Mata would probably need a second place or a win with Brutsky getting knocked out in the grade 8. Looks like just doing some math on the back of the envelope here. So Mata still looks like he has a mathematical possibility. We won't see him until we get to the other side of the bracket, and then we'll lay out his possibilities. And of course, Brutsky still needs to do his battle in the grade 8.
All right, right now this is Blake Olson, beautiful E92 BMW, coming to us from Las Vegas. Coro Works, Achilles Tires, BMW. Looking a little gun shy of that bank. Yeah, he's out there by himself, but might be a little wall shy of the big bad wall. here at Irwindale Speedway. Hammering down. Absolutely just zip tying that pedal down. All right, Blake Olson comes to a stop after the finish line as now we go to the other side of the bracket. We already have 4 drivers in the grade 8. Now we go to the other side. Kelsey Rawlings. And again, this is very important right here. Love initiates low, no back.
Yeah.
Yes, back, he goes high.
He's looking strong tonight, and let's see where Nick Novak is currently in competition for the season. He's in 18th place as a rookie, so he has done some sensational work so far here this evening and made it very difficult for a lot of the top contenders, and that is saying a lot. You want to make that impression on the last event of the year, and he is certainly doing that right now.
All right, as look at that. BC Racing side by side earlier. BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. We are now in the Royal Purple Top 16. Royal Purple, the synthetic experts, the official engine oil of Formula Drift. Kelsey Rawlings, Daniel Stuke. There you see the stats, fairly equally matched, both S chassis. Who's going to come out on top, Rawlings or Stuke? As looks like they left the burnout box, and they are on the start line. There you go, Kelsey Rawlings, that top one oil S14, and you see the S15 of Daniel Stuke. Send it. All right, Rawlings comes out swinging the car that is into the wall, into the bank. Equally matched. We saw the stats there. If that is 100%, no sandbagging. Past that front clip into the inner bank. Whoa, Stuke. And
wow.
that hip. Let's make sure he's okay as Kelsey does continue on through the course.
Wow, that was
Yeah, let's lay out here. Just make sure he's all right.
That was a tough hit. That's the second one that we've seen there in that area, Jared. We know from
thumbs up.
Joe
right,
Lynn that that area can be very treacherous. Obviously these cars are built to certain specifications to take those kind of hits, but nonetheless, a really nasty part of the course to go into the wall. Obviously, it's not going to move, and it looks like he may have just gone a little bit wide after outside or inside clip number 1, and trying to get that position going into outside zone 2. Just got too close to the wall there and sucked him right in.
And not only did it, Lynn's vehicle hit harder earlier, but also, we saw Josh Love, we saw, so we saw a couple, we've seen pro drivers hit that wall before as well. So definitely sensational, but want to make sure that everybody is okay, because that was definitely a hard hit there. You could see Stuke out of the car, just taking some precautionary measures, seeing how he is, and this is it's going to take a while to clean this up, but we got a great crew here on track. And young man, Ryan, not to add to it, but the gentleman, the Monster Hat, he's been coming here since he was a kid, and his name is Tanner, and he's been listening to us talk about Formula Drift since he was a kid, and he's named after Tanner Faust.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he's a fireman.
Wow.
And I saw him at GRC, Red Bull Global Rallycross, and I just saw him right before we started here in 16. Sorry to add to the story.
Glad to have him taking care of Daniel Stuke, because let's take a look at what happens here. Obviously blazing off of the big bank. He gets right on the inside
blinded
there, and as he transitions back around, he doesn't get a full transition, and he eyes up accidentally a very dangerous part of the course. Let's watch it again. He's going to come through Kelsey's smoke line right near inside clip number 1. The car's going to float, and then right there he's towards the wall. He tries to get himself out of it, but by that time, as he's transitioning, the back bumper is just pointed right at that beginning of outside zone number 2, and a really tough hit there. Here it is again. So you can see as he comes out of the smoke line, he's basically head on at the wall or very close to it, and as the car starts rotating around, the rear of the vehicle just gets right into the wall.
And admittedly, Kelsey did need to continue through the course in order to take that advantage. I'm just glad Daniel, he's outside of the vehicle, and you know, if you drift, you know this happens. Exhale, he says, I'm good. You could read his lips there, so I'm glad that's priority number one. So Daniel Stuke, unfortunately, I don't know if there's enough time in 5 minutes for him to fix his vehicle. That was a hard hit. That chassis is going to be definitely tweaked up. So you can already see him assessing this, and that's the tenacity that a lot of these drifters have in their teams. You can see he's already on the radio. All right, it's looking like this. It's looking like that. How we doing? Here is the bracket. So Novak and Olsen. You can see Misko and Brutsky, and right now we are in the Kelsey Rawlings Daniel Stuke battle. Here is the AEM Virtual Fan Zone. Yo,
hey, boys and girls.
That's pretty wild,
How
right?
you guys doing?
Kelsey
That
for
was
the
a wild
win.
ride. Wild ride.
Hey, round of applause for
See
Daniel
Kelsey win
Stuke.
like that,
He
but,
risked it for the biscuit, and sometimes, you know,
Kelsey won like
yeah,
that.
round of applause for Stuke.
Yo, we gotta make sure. Did LZ go yet?
LZ is not performing in Pro 2, you kids. Jeez Louise, I don't know how many times I got to tell you I get it. My goodness. And all right, so there's Daniel Stuke and Kevin, aka Kevin's Corner. All right, so we got some cleanup here in aisle 2, I guess you could call it, the outside zone. When we come back, we'll continue with the action here. Round 4, the finals. This is Type S title fight at Irwindale Speedway, the House of Drift.
Quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Brid.
What is power and control? Power is the sprint. Control is the hurdle. Power is the flame. Control is the perfect stake. Power is turbulence. Control is containment. Power is the ignition. Control is the sensor. NGK and NTK. Power under control.
We're here for the perfectionists, the champions of doing things right. Whether they're in the shop or in the driveway, they trust O'Reilly Auto Parts because good enough won't cut it here. For over 50 years, we've been helping perfectionists get exactly what they want and exactly what they need without compromise, turning that problem into a problem solved. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
The Falcon Azenis FK510 tire is engineered for today's high-performance vehicles. Built with added tread rigidity for precise handling and an advanced rubber compound that inspires confidence, rain or shine. Get more out of your sports coupe or sedan with the Azenis FK510.
Brought to you by Air Force, Aim High. Type S, official lighting sponsor of Formula Drift. Lights, camera, power, fun. And GT Radial, experience the performance.
All right, if you haven't already, go ahead and do the Aim High Air Force trivia. Where is it at? Where are you going to find it? In the chat. At the top of the chat, you'll see it right there, or excuse me, in the description in the YouTube live stream. So go to and click on the Aim High Air Force trivia. Which of these aircrafts is the youngest? The U-2A Dragon Lady, the A-10 Thunderbolt II, the B-52 Stratofortress, or the KC-135A Strato Tanker. All right, as A's in the sky, we got the A-10, the B-52. All right, so yeah, Ryan, we've never really deemed this wall the hip. Hips don't lie, dude. We call it Shakira. Can we call it that?
Well, yeah, I mean, think historically, how many courses have you named? You did the Gauntlet.
Yeah, we've done a few.
Come on, make some
I don't
claims.
remember them all right now. It's got, you know, everybody asks like, oh, what's their nickname? It's like, you don't, you know, one, you don't choose your nickname. Your nickname chooses you, right? So, and
but you codify it.
Right. Okay. Wow. Ah, word of the day, codify. Is that song by Rage Against the Machine? Codify. Right? Is that what it is?
No, that's Justify.
Oh, got it. My bad. Sorry, my bad. I thought it was codify. Why'd you put your keys up on the table? I wanted to. Oh man. So yeah, this I don't want to call it the Widowmaker because that means there's a larger issue.
It's a bigger issue.
Yeah, it's a way bigger issue. But all right, so Kelsey Rawlings here with her bye run. She will advance on into the Great 8 with this turning and burning here in her bye run. Layout list in the Ford Power S chassis. This is Kelsey Rawlings. Saw Kelsey earlier this year out at the Holley Performance Ford Festival. And when she's on, she's definitely on it. I'm trying to recall, have we ever had I'm trying to think, did she podium? I don't know if we've ever had a female Formula Drift podium. I mean, Amanda Sorensen, did she podium? I'm trying to recall. Somebody look that up. Yep. All right, here we go. Kelsey Rawlings. Again, this is her bye run. Simple as that. She advances on. She has progressed over the years from Pro-Am in Florida, now making the move and coming across the country to commit herself to the sport of drifting. And she just relocated to not too far from here, actually, about an hour away from the track here, Kelsey Rawlings.
And let's think about this, right? I mean, inarguably, this is the best season that she's had. Right now, she's sitting 9th in points.
Yeah.
What's significant about that?
Yeah, if she jumps up another spot, she could have a pro license.
So, you know, whether or not Pro2 drivers actually take that pro license, I think that's something they need to give deep consideration to because it's such a different ball game.
Yeah.
In terms of the number of events and the car preparation and all that kind of stuff. But she is making her mark on the sport, doing a fantastic job, not only managing a program, but also moving across the country at the same time and putting all the pieces together. So this is a great victory for her. She'll be moving on into the Great 8, and we will find out who she'll be going up against next between Diaz and Power.
That's right. Two great-looking cars, two menacing-looking dudes right here. Look at the black and white. What's black and white and going to win all over? One of these gentlemen. We'll find out. Riverside, California. Down the way, hold fast, Micah Diaz and Mike Power. The Power of the Babe, the hoodoo, the voodoo, Power of the Babe. Here we go. Port Jeff Station, New York. Top 16, the Royal Purple Top 16, the official engine oil of Formula Drift. Micah Diaz will lead. Look at that. He is firing. Literally hold fast, not hold slow. Micah Diaz initiates into the bank. Diaz, middle of the bank. Oh, drops down quite a bit as Power. Looks like he struggles to hang with them, but he hung out longer, higher on the bank, so I think Diaz was having some issues. Oh, and look at this, Power. He is in that smoke trail around that front clip. Diaz, oh, gets out of shape. He hits the pylons. Unfortunately, Diaz just a little too loosey-goosey. I know Micah Diaz gained a lot of notoriety. He went into the Hoonigan factory and ripped around and took what they call the man line, and he ripped another vehicle around their facility. Gained a lot of notoriety there and a lot of fans, but right now he needs to tighten it up quite a bit.
You know, Power didn't really have a lot of proximity in this run, but it's really hard to fault him, right? I mean, Micah Diaz is really down low on the bank, and you could see Power sees that, makes an adjustment, and tries to go after him. But then again, he's just on the inside line of outside zone 2. So in a sense, from the big bank, he was kind of running away. Not intentionally. I don't think drivers really do that because they know it's going to go against them.
Right.
But he's definitely taking a tighter line, which is going to be a quicker line. So this is an opportunity for Power, have that conversation with the spotter and say, hey, look, get a good qualifying style type lead run here, and you're going to put yourself in a good position to move on.
That's right. And again, thank you to the Ford and the Ford F-150. You can see it out there helping us on track as America's best-selling full-size pickup for good reason. Delivers an unsurpassed combination of power, capability, and efficiency. The F-150 offers best-in-class payload and up to 13,800 pounds available towing, thanks to its most advanced powertrain lineup ever, including a 3-liter Power Stroke turbo diesel V6. Check out America's favorite truck at your local Ford dealer. Here we go. Power, Diaz. Who's moving on? Who's going against Kelsey Rawlings in the Great 8? Power out front. Let's see how he initiates. You see, quick little stumble there on initiation, but then throws a lot of angle at it. Gangsters all get out. Power. Now here comes Diaz. Into that inner bank goes Power. Diaz wall shy. Wow, Power all the way out there. Diaz taking a shallower line. About the second hash mark, that's where Diaz was on his lead run. Lead versus lead, chase versus chase run. You can see Power, set it and forget it, drops it right into that outside zone and crosses the finish line.
You know, I feel like this is one of those runs where the judges are really going to look closely at the comparative lead runs, because Diaz did have a moment there at the end where he started to gain some proximity, but clearly the lead run from Power is better. He was on a mid-high line on the bank, which Diaz didn't really do, and he had a really strong inner bank as well. So let's take a look at this. You can see that Diaz had some nice proximity at inside clip 1, but he's on a tighter line here, much lower, and Powers is super close to the wall on that second outside zone. So Diaz is finding some opportunities here because he's on a tighter line to get that proximity, but Power is doing the right thing as the lead driver. He was a little bit wide on that inside clip, but overall, as the lead driver, comparatively speaking, it was a solid performance here, right on the edge of outside zone 3, finishing up strong. And big ups to Diaz for catching him there and staying on that line. But I have a feeling, yep, at least one judge is already going for it. Here we go, yep.
And there it is. Mike Power gets the victory. Mike Power advances on. All right, the Zoom room, what's going on here? The AEM Virtual Fan Zone.
Called it. Called it, boy.
Like they're saying, calling it.
Smooth.
Oh, there we go. And here it is. Rawlings will go against Mike Power in the Great 8. We are 3/4 of the way completed with our top 16, Ryan.
So this is the one, right, Jared? This is the one we're going to be paying close attention on. Let's go through the Austin Mata scenarios as he is up next. If Mata wins the event, Brutski needs a 3rd place to win the championship. If Brutski gets knocked out in his top 8 battle and Mata gets 3rd, they will be tied, but Mata would win the championship because he had the higher finish in the most recent event. So obviously what that means is if that Mata gets knocked out here, Dmitry Brutski is your champion.
Oh man, this is just what you expect from Irwindale, right? Like the plot thickens and it gets exciting. So let's see how Mata and Hoffman handle this. We saw Mata on the box earlier this year. Can he take it to the top? Here we go. Mata and Hoffman, and then Hoffman earlier we saw him. No, he had a bye run as well. So neither of these guys actually had battles earlier, but Hoffman did have a bye run because of Lynn unfortunately having to retire. Oh wow, quickly Mata. Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
Wow. And look at that, just how quick. I was just about to say, look at that huge gap, and he closed the gap on the wall as opposed to the drivers. Ryan, this is This is just crazy, man. Yeah, Ricky came to a stop. Great observation there, Brian. Watch what happened.
He just locked up the fronts after initiation.
That's Ryan Turk. That was like a Ryan Turk scenario.
Totally. Initiates. He flew.
Comes out of it.
It was
whammo.
It's eerily similar to Ryan Turk, which is weird. Turk had a lot more angle in his car, but it's the same general mechanics. He initiates, locks up the fronts, tries to roll out of it, and goes right up in the wall. And you have to imagine the same situation that happened to Ryan Turk, in Papadakis Racing, being able to try to fix that car. They couldn't do it. This does not bode well here for Austin Mata and his championship hopes.
Yeah, and the big thing here is that he's got 5 minutes. He's got a competition timeout. Pro2 team, it's the odds of them getting it back together are very low. I hate to stack the cards against Mata, but just logistically getting that car right, getting it over in the pits, and I believe that Brudski watching on, that's not the way you want to get the championship, but it's a culmination of 4 rounds, and each round, each run, each turn and burn counts. So Hurst is out. Love is out. Mata, we saw him go into the wall. Essentially, Brudski is waiting to find out, can Mata fix his vehicle? Can he move on? If Mata isn't, again, reiterating, for me, I'm a little slow here. If Mata doesn't continue on and Ricky gets that win, Brudski would have to still go against Misko.
No, because he's going to have to go
accumulated.
He's going to get grade 8 points, so he's going to be ahead. He's already ahead of Mata in finishing in the top 16.
Got it.
So yeah, that's going to lock up the championship. The only other contenders that were in the ballpark were Josh Love and Jonathan Hurst. Blake Olson is 68 points out. Chase Schmidt was 68 points out.
And you can see what's at stake here between 1st through 4th, and then 5th through 8th, 9th through 16th, 17th, and up.
Yep. Wow.
Oh, man. Oh, you can see Mata. Hey, Mata, round of applause for Mata. Again, just you can see him leaning on the wall, just devastated. So, man, this thing is it's the black hole. It just eating up these vehicles. This isn't all you can eat buffet. I don't know. I'm going a couple different places here with nicknames. But that's not the way you want to see it get done. Especially for Brudski, you want to see a battle, and it's a bummer.
Selfishly, that's what we want. I think you made a great point, though, that it really is that culmination of those 4 rounds. Pro2 championship is really a preparation for what they can expect if they want to move up to pro, and that basically means double the rounds. And double the challenges. We saw, a lot of action last night that resulted in championship implications and the numbers moving around because of what Frederick Osbo did. And that wall, not only the big bank, but also the lower bank has really played a role in that. And it always seems to historically do that.
Yep. So again, just really exciting here, seeing this last night. This is just a little teaser of our victor last night. And there are the leaderboards in the Pro Championship. You could see 40 points separate Von Gittin Jr. and Ryan Turk. And then do the math, 60 points between Osbo and Von Gittin Jr. So, 80 points between Denofa and Von Gittin Jr. sitting there in 4th. And Forsberg sitting down there in 5th. So, crazy shaking up yesterday, and I can appreciate that. Ryan kind of ending here on a bit of a high note, seeing Frederick Osbo take it to the top. He won round 1, he won round 7, and he'd love to win again tomorrow to shake things up. And this was the finals here. Frederick Osbo and Michael Essa, both former champs, and seeing what's going on here, see if we can get it off the wall. And there's Mata again reaching on in, seeing what's going on. Clean up on aisle 1 now. It was aisle 2 that we saw earlier. Now clean up here on aisle 1 at the House of Drift. What would you guys call it? Let's hear in the chat room. What would you call Irwindale Speedway other than the House of Drift? The AEM Virtual Fan Zone. We're here round 4 of the Formula Drift Link ECU Pro 2 Championship. Thank you for joining us here. When we come back, we'll see more drifting from the House of Drift.
horsepower.
Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, if you spend $45 on Royal Purple products, like I just did for my oil change, Royal Purple will send you $10 back. Here's how easy it is. Head to your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up any combination of Royal Purple products that get you to $45. Also good at O'Reilly.com. Make sure you take your receipt, snap a photo of it, then go to RoyalPurplePromos.com and simply upload your receipt image. It's so easy. Then all you have to do is go to the mailbox and find your $10 rebate check.
Nighttime here in Los Angeles County, and we are out in Irwindale. Right now, man, Irwin fail for a few of these drivers. This is it's getting difficult, but you know, I'm not saying they're failing by any means. I'm just trying to get creative here, trying to make a laugh here. But I'm glad that everybody's okay. I'm glad that Mata walked away safely. Lynn, you know, yeah, a few of the drivers here. So. Even that of Ryan Turk. So here we go. We have 2 more battles left in the top 16, and I believe we got the official throat chop from the spotter up here of Austin Mata saying, yeah, we are hearing, yeah, and we are seeing the official throat chop there, meaning Austin Mata will retire. So Ricky Hoffman will have to complete his run there, similar to what Kelsey Rawlings did when, again, unfortunately, Stuke had to, or went into the wall. So just a crazy turn of events, and this is what we kind of expected, but not to this degree. You never like to see it like this. Current standings being shooken up, and Ryan, right before we came back, and I talked about Mata retiring, you were saying Blake Olson potentially still has a chance?
An outside, it looks like it. So take a look at this. Dmitry Brutsky has 212 points. He's in the grade 8, so that means he secures 48 points. That puts him at 260. Olson has 168. If he wins, he could get 100 points. That's 268. So that grade 8 battle still has some importance there for Brutsky. Obviously, the odds are in his favor, but there is still looks like an outside chance there. And he officially does need to get to the line for that battle.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So we will see how everything transpires as we clear the track here. We'll take a driver profile at the potential champion, but you just talked about it. Still an outside chance here for Blake Olson. Let's take a profile of Dmitry Brutsky. It is Dmitry Brutsky.
Hi, my name is Dmitry Brutsky. I'm from Western Massachusetts, and I drive BMW E46 S Autosport. Yeah, when I saw Formula Drift on TV and then first time in person in 2017 in Canada, I thought I really want to be part of it, and I wish I can drive it one day. So in 2018, I bought the Z4 from Mike and competed in Pro-Am series, and I got second East End Drift. And I got my Pro2 license, and last year I was competing in Pro2. So as this year with a new car and with a teammate, Brian Wadman, team never settled, and here we are. If I do good, probably just stay in Pro2 and keep dominating Pro2. That's my goal for now, at least.
Cars on the track. Wow. Mata, you can see a back bumper put on the front bumper put on the back, lifting that thing off. Yeah. So, yeah, that's again, that's a lot of work. Not going to be completed in time. Now we got to make it up this bank here.
Well,
Ryan, overall, again, Mata will retire. Ricky Hoffman will take his bye run. After that, we got Josh Reynolds going against Derek Madison, which we haven't seen either of those gentlemen run here this evening because they both had bye runs. What's on the line? Dimitri Brutski, Blake Olson. Still an outside chance for Las Vegas' own Bay Olson, but Brutski, we just saw that driver profile from him. If I got the Pro 2, I'd still drive Pro 2, and I think that's, you know, again, just developing as a driver, getting the program dialed, all that. So when we come back, we'll continue with our Link ECU Pro 2 Championship.
What takes me to my happy place is actually adding a bottle of Royal Purple Max Boost every time I fill up my tank, and literally feeling the difference it makes with my engine. It's like putting on your favorite pair of socks. What a coincidence. Now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, when you buy a bottle of Max Boost, Royal Purple is going to send you a pair of Royal Purple designer socks. Personally, this might be one of the best promos ever. Max Boost bumps up that octane number a legit 3 points, and the socks put some heat on your feet. How you doing, right?
To let you know about the Ford Performance Drift and Dirt Sweepstakes, where you can win your choice of a brand new 2021 Ford Super Duty Tremor, which is ready for work or outdoor adventure at any time.
Or a 480 horsepower track-ready 2021 Ford Mustang Mach 1.
All you have to do is head to driftandirt.com for your chance to win.
All right, Ryan, we were talking about it again. Walk us through some of the scenarios that you were just talking about. Who's in, who's out?
Well, we've eliminated Hurst, we've eliminated Joshua Love, and we just saw Austin Mata go out of competition. That means only driver that is less than 100 points away from Dimitri Brutski is Blake Olson. Now, it is a tough path for Blake. He needs Dimitri Brutski to get knocked out in the Great 8, and then he needs to go on and win the event. And if he does that, he would be your champion by 8 points. So all of our eyes are going to shift once we fill the Great 8 bracket to the first battle up, which is going to be Steve Misko versus Brutski. Brutski wins there. It's game over. The championship is locked. If he doesn't, we will keep our eye on Olson.
All right, here we go. Pretty Ricky Hoffman. Here we go, TireStacks.com. See the FDF race shop. Here we go. So lay out, listen. So Ricky can make it through. Ricky Hoffman will go against either Josh Reynolds or Derek Madison. And what's interesting here about Ricky Hoffman is talking about, you know, gun shy, being wall shy here. He just saw Austin Moto go hard into the wall and he backed off and, you know, definitely a gentleman move there, just stopped and waited as Austin went hard into the wall. So he's got to be a little bit gun shy there. So Ricky Hoffman moves on into the Great 8. So Reynolds and Madison, our final battle of top 16, and Ryan, it bears repeating, Misko and Brutsky, our first battle of the Grade 8. If Brutsky gets the win, he will be your Link ECU Pro 2 champion. Here we go, our final battle of top 16, Josh Reynolds going against Derek Madison. So a little PNW. He's got dual citizenship, both in Switzerland and here in the States. And there you have Derek Madison, that inertia S chassis. Here we go. Josh Reynolds will lead. Madison will give chase. Run 1, final battle, top 16. And away they go. The Type S. All right, looks like Josh Reynolds jumped the light. That will be a restart. We're hearing, you can see the lights flashing. So the Type S title fight. AEM Virtual Fan Zone. What's cracking?
Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
I love Steven's background.
Which one's that?
In the middle.
Just the turbo? Oh, this guy, the cat. Oh, Sam. It's got Sam Nalvin there. Right on.
Oh, yeah.
There we
No
go.
doubt.
Oh, yeah, do the wave. All right, here we go, back to the action. Josh Reynolds. Derek Madison, who is moving on. Derek Madison from St. Louis, Missouri. And there we go, we got a clean start. As long as no cones are hit, no cones are hit. Here we go. Josh Reynolds out front. Reynolds initiates into the bank. This vehicle operated by Drift Cave. Yo, look at Reynolds.
Dang,
throwing down huge. We don't need no stinking wall. Derek Madison applying the pressure. You can see him jumping up. Oh, a shallow line there by Reynolds. And Madison does follow him. So very sensational on initiation from Reynolds. But on the inner bank, falls a bit short. Now bringing in that final outside zone. Madison taking that beeline right to the side of that BMW. Ryan, yo, that initiation was the most gangster I've seen in Pro 2.
That was amazing by Josh Reynolds. He started off in a very savage way there, especially on the big bank. Big flick right there, right up against the wall. And he controlled it pretty well, but he comes a little bit unstuck as he comes off early and then right there really slows down through that inside clip. And you can see that Madison had to make an adjustment. Both drivers are on the inside of the course there. Another little flub there from Reynolds out front. Now starting to try to get settled in a little bit here. Gets to that third outside zone, comes off a little bit early, and Madison follows him in tow. Crazy battle here between Joshua Reynolds and Derek Madison. Our final one of the top 16. Who's going to be moving on to the Great 8? Let's switch things up.
All right, that Inertia Garage S chassis. And some more Ford truck cleanup. Again, the F-150 offers best-in-class payload, up to 13,800 pounds, available towing thanks to its most advanced powertrain lineup ever, including a brand new 3-liter Power Stroke turbo diesel V6. Check out America's favorite truck at your local Ford dealer. All right, looks like the F-150s are getting parked, and we will begin the second run of this battle. The final one of top 16. The winner going against Ricky Hoffman in the Grade 8. Away they go. Oh, Eric Madison almost getting to the cones. Let's see. Oh, wow, cone is hit. Yeah, Did look like it. Back one. Edgar, are you quoting Ricky from Christmas Story? Or no, from Better Off Dead? Yes. Ricky! Yeah. Solid. Better Off Dead. I want my $2. All right. Brian Eggert and I. Eggert, a man of many 80s movie pop culture knowledge. And his daughter will definitely teach you a few things too, as far as 80 pop culture movies go. All right, here we go. Got to restart. A strike for Derek Madison. It's only once that we've ever gotten 3 strikes, right? Landerville, that was the only one in Canada. It happened in Japan? Only one I can recall was Landerville.
Yeah, we had one with the shark.
Okay, there we go. Here we go. Oh, the shark. The shark. Derek Madison initiates. Let's see if he can throw down like Josh Reynolds. Not as high. Whoa, Josh Reynolds wavering down on the bank. So as sensational as that initiation was on the bank in the chase position, struggling a bit. Now Madison doesn't go all the way out to that outer zone. And now past that second front clip and into that final outside zone. Brian, it's going to be a tough one to judge because I did like, of course, what Josh did out of the gate, but then it kind of fell apart, started crumbling. And then Derek Madison, not bad, but wasn't, you know, all the way up there, and it just got wonky.
Well, what started as a very promising situation for Reynolds on his lead run, as you said, Jared, it kind of fell apart, and it continued here in the chase. And you're right, Madison really didn't have the impactful lead run that you would want to see that would really push it over the edge for him, especially in areas of importance like the big bank. However, he looked pretty settled. He picked a line and went after it. He's going to get some deductions for the mistakes that he made. But we did see after that great bank run by Reynolds, a lot of mistakes in his lead as well. So I agree with you that this is a tough call for the judges here. They do not, and one more times, are not designed to be for battles where there's a lot of mistakes. It's meant to be for runs that are very, very close together because they're so good.
And there
it looks like they got enough there.
Yep, Derek Madison unanimously gets the win. So, again, as awesome, you know, you can't be a one-hit wonder. You got to have a whole album of hits, right? And talking about your outside zones and hitting those outside zones and those front clips. So, Madison, I think he still needs to tighten up going against Ricky Hoffman, you know, just in order to really solidify it. Don't leave it in the judges' hands. But now all eyes are on Dmitry Brutsky and Steve Misko. What's on the line? Brutsky currently sitting in second. We've talked about it, but we're going to pound it into your head until you realize that Brutsky is up for the championship. Here's our first battle of that Great 8 that is deemed the Link ECU Top 8. Link ECU, the official engine management unit of Formula Drift. Brutsky never settle. The ISC suspension, BMW warming up the tires. If he wins and goes on against Steve Misko, he will be your 2020 Link ECU Pro 2 champion. Misko, we saw him earlier go against Andy Haley. He had a bye prior to that. And honestly, Brutsky, we have not seen him do battle yet. That's the interesting thing. We've seen him only do a bye run because in 32 he had a bye. He was supposed to go against Chase Schmidt. He is a no-show here, so a DNS did not start. So Brutsky, with his first battle of Irwindale, could take this. And by no means did we hand this to him, or did any driver hand this to them. We saw him on the podium. We saw him get the win. You know, there were some mistakes made by Love. We saw Hurst go out early. He had engine issues. And now the culmination of 4 short events, it all coalesces now.
A lot of attention on Dmitry Brutsky throughout the season. Let's remember, Jonathan Hurst, though, made the impact in Texas. He was your series leader coming into this event. He had a top 32 knockout, which is devastating to hold that lead. And now Dmitry Brutsky, as you mentioned, for the first time tonight doing battle, could secure his Pro 2 championship.
Here we go. Brutsky out front. Misko in the chase position. With this battle, the culmination of 2 battles, Brutsky could be your 2020 Pro 2 champion. Brutsky, Misko goes into the wall, taps out, comes out of it, drops down low. Brutsky tapping it as well. He knows what's on the line. No mistakes can be made. Brudski not getting all the way out to that second outside zone. A shallow line by both the drivers. I believe both of them are affected by hitting that wall. Brudski off that front clip, and look at this, he overshoots, he takes it out. Imagine that's a wall, he would have tapped that. So with Brudski out front, oh man, you know who's paying attention now? Blake Olson. Blake Olson is saying, oh man, if I take this to the top, he could be could be the Pro 2 champion.
Well, not the most convincing lead run when you're trying to hunt down that championship. And as we see that Misko is taking him on in the chase, he does make a mistake there. It's an aggressive mistake, and we'd like to see that, but he doesn't recover very well. Meanwhile, Brudski had an opportunity here to really lay down a run that is going to be hard for Misko to chase by going into that outside zone. He does not get to the outside zone at all.
Totally missed that front clip.
Leaves it open by missing the inside clip. And then as we get into this final section, we do see some compression here usually, but Misko falls back. So seesaw battle here. Here's that tap of the wall by Misko. You can see the front wheels come straight. I wouldn't call it another or a double initiation or a reinitiation, but it was definitely a mistake that he had to handle. And he was left playing catch-up for a while. But Brudski had some opportunities there where I think he could have had a much stronger lead run, really given himself a much more convincing or commanding advantage going into the second half of the battle.
Yeah, and what's interesting there is we saw, you know, Brudski earlier with that buy run, he put the car in all the right places, was up on the bank, but nerves, I mean, that's what you're dealing with here. You're dealing with not only another driver, you're dealing with yourself and your own nerves, and of course the track. And for Brudski, getting that clean air, it's going to be a little more tough for him to go against Misko here in that chase position. What I think happened to Misko was he saw that he was lower, he probably pulled on the handbrake, caused the car to slide back, it got into the wall, and then got out of shape. And then Brudski, again, taking that shallower line on that second that outside zone on the inner bank, it threw him offline and completely missed that second inside clip. So that was very unfortunate for Brudski, but like I said, Misko right now is, you know, it's no pushover. He has, I'd say it's fairly equally matched because you can't have a good chase run unless you have a good lead run. And Brudski made quite a few mistakes here and there. And now Blake Olson looks on and saying like, oh, wow, this could be an opportunity. And like we said, we're not just handing it to him. You have to earn it. You have to earn it. All right, so if you haven't already picked up a pedal commander, you can for $30 off. Use the code FD2020, gain faster acceleration, save up to 20% in fuel economy, easy plug and play installation, and also will not void your vehicle warranty. And it's Bluetooth capable. Pedal Commander, supporter of the 777 Matt Field and that Falcon Tires Pedal Commander Drift Cave Corvette. So pick up a Pedal Commander, save $30. Use code FD2020. Looks like we're still cleaning up some debris off the bank, aka debris. All right, Ryan, like we said, you know, definitely not handing it to him. And talking about nerves, talking about settling in, looks like they're gonna look at Misko's back bumper, see what's going on here. And it looks like the F-150s might be pulling off now. And pulling it on in. There they are, leaving the track. We are in the Link ECU Grade 8. Link ECU, the official engine management unit of Formula Drift. All right, so Kelsey Rawlings moving on into the Grade 8. She will be going against Mike Power. Again, that Mike Power had a really good line. Rawlings, you know, we saw Stuke take himself out. But man, Novak is one to watch. So again, Olson's looking on, but think about Novak. Novak has taken out, we saw Hurst, we saw Love, and now Olson is another contender. And Novak could just, you know, absolutely sweep all legs on this one. Here we go. All right, championship on the line. Brudski, can he step up? He's going to be chasing down. He's in the rear view mirror of Steve Misko. Misko on initiation into the bank. He initiates. Safe line. Mid to high, you can see right there, Brudski now keeping it tight. Misko past that front clip, now into the inner bank. How's he gonna handle this? Oh, Brudski, you can see, massage the vehicle, gaining that proximity, maintaining angle. How do they go around that front clip? about second and a half hash mark. Oh, Brutski goes into the side of Misko. So let's take a look here. We were really tight on that camera shot. And again, what comes now is who's at fault?
Decel zone, decel zone.
Right. So, was he allowed to slow down? Was Brutski, was it a combination of both slowing down and Brutski being too aggressive, or was Brutski just aggressive? We're going to need to overanalyze this with our BC Racing coilovers instant replay.
Well, that was right at the beginning of the third and final outside zone. Your decel zone's right about there. You can see he's decelling, starting to get back on throttle, and he's still kind of in the decel zone as Brutski hits him. So, at least at first pass, it looks like Brutski was just being a bit too aggressive there. Let's watch it again from this angle. See, he's decelling, he's in the decel zone. Here comes Brutski, taps him, and then obviously the force causes the spin there. So judges mulling this one over. If Brutski gets knocked out here, there's still at least a window of opportunity for Blake Olson. He's got 168 points right now. 100 points would give him 268. And right now in competition, Brutski's got 260. Here it is from above. Now, I think Brutski, Jared, overall was starting to pull the strings in his favor with this chase run. He really did a great job following Misko where he needed to and staying pretty close to him. Yeah, Misko, we're definitely going to want to hear from the judges here. From that vantage point, Misko was slowing down, getting ready to get into the decel zone, and Brutski's coming up. So there's the decel zone. You can see just about proportionally how much in front of that third outside zone is. I know the judges are going to mull this one over for sure because they're going to want to see whether or not Misko was actually in the decel zone, approaching the decel zone when that was hit. And let's bring in Judge Ryan Lontaine. I think we're going to get some insight from you about what you guys are looking at for this particular incident.
Take a look at where that decel zone is on the map and how small it is. What we're looking at right now is where Misko actually decelled, and it looked like it was very, very early compared to what we see on that map. And it's not generally where we see people decel. It looked like it was very close to inside clip number 2 immediately after transition. So right here is where it happened. And I know from this view that doesn't help us at all, but maybe from here. Typically, the cars that are decelling are much later than that, but it's still technically in the zone where that would be happening. Maybe it is earlier than what we've been seeing from other drivers, though. So we'll just have to look at this on an individual basis and see what we all think about it.
Yeah, and he wasn't. He hit about the second. I'd call it like a 2.5 on that front clip. So it wasn't like he was completely offline either, and Brutski was chasing him down properly.
Right. It's generally the cars are decelling later. They're decelling more, I would say closer to the beginning of outside zone number 3, maybe a few car lengths earlier, but it looked like Misko was much, much earlier than that.
Yeah.
So it probably threw Brutski off because he wasn't expecting him to do it that early.
If we can go back to the drone shot real quick, I'm not sure if we can, but I just wanted to kind of point out what you're looking at there. Don't we typically see when the drivers are slowing down that once they're rotating from one position to the next, that's when you're going to start seeing the decel zone after they've committed to that transition. It looked like Misko was already decelling before he had committed to that locked position going into the decel zone. Is that kind of what you're looking at?
Yeah, exactly. Usually the car will kind of be settled at the angle that they would have rotated to and slow down a lot later because the track tightens up right at the beginning of that zone. That's where the track starts to get a little bit tighter, and that's typically where you see the cars getting slower. So
this is what I was talking about. Let me just see if you're on the same page here. So you see him, he's getting ready to transition, and he starts braking there, right?
Yeah.
And wouldn't you expect him to get set, and then that's where the decel would happen? Is that what you're looking at?
Exactly. And what it looks like he's about to do is slow down way earlier than he should and then throttle through.
Right.
Whereas what we want to see is the car get to the zone using momentum. And it looked like here...
he got nervous. I think he just got nervous he's going to overcook it.
Right. So he's got a big handbrake pull and a slowdown, but generally that would happen a lot later. So that looks to me like it's way earlier than what we would expect.
All right. Well, thank you, Ryan Lontaine. And again, these guys still. I mean, fortunately it's a second run of this battle.
Yeah.
So regardless of fault, who's at fault or what happened, but now it just comes down to, again, did Misko slow down, causing Brudski, because you can't have a good chase run if you don't have a good lead run? Did he throw a roadblock in front of him?
Yeah, honestly, honestly, I don't think there's anything intentional going on here. So I don't. Let's not do that. But
no, not at all.
But I don't. But I also don't. It's not clear to me.
Okay, so look at this, Misko. Sorry, Misko. Look at. Steve Misko gets the win. Misko gets the win, Ryan. So our two judges, Brian Egger and Chris Yule, side with Misko, and Lontaine, he's elaborating over here, and he got outnumbered. And I mean,
that's our first split decision of the weekend so far.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, Ryan, so here it is. Dimitri Brudski, the roadblock. Literally, Misko did, Ryan thought, that he slowed down. So, Dimitri Brudski's road to the podium stops here. His road to the championship is now in the fate of Blake Olson, because Blake Olson goes against Nick Novak. Both these guys on Coro Works, both these guys from Las Vegas, both in BMWs, but only one of them could potentially take the 2020 Link ECU Pro 2 Championship. But he'd have to go through Novak and go through Misko, and then there it is. The door is open for Blake Olson. Look at this. Coming into this round, you would look at it and say, you got Hurst, you got Love, you got Brudski, you got Mata, and Blake was on the outside looking in of those very talented drivers. But guess what? He could rise to the top. Look at this. Nick Novak, Blake Olson. Look at these two handsome devils. Both from Las Vegas, both in BMWs, both sponsored and supported by Coro Works. Here we go. Blake Olson will lead. Nick Novak will give chase. Blake Olson, saw him earlier on the bank, didn't get really high, seemed a little bit timid. Let's see how he performs here. Blake Olson, middle of the bank. Nick Novak a little bit lower, slightly lower. So you see how they manage that first front clip. Novak gets very close to it now into that inner bank. Blake a little deeper again, very similar to that of that first outside zone. Blake dialed in on that second. Oh, Nick Novak takes a peculiar line there. You saw that shallows up on that transition. Blake fills all of it. I'm just getting a sense that these guys are getting very scared of the wall after seeing a lot of their peers going in to the big menacing wall.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And Blake Olson is in a position here where he's trying to play spoiler, and Nick Novak is trying to be the star of the night. He will have taken out every major competitor that was in a position to lock in some big prize, whether it was a championship. So let's take a look at this last little section here as Blake locks into this final outside zone. Novak a little bit shallower there. Got a good little battle going on here, and you can see Brudski frustrated in his vehicle after that loss in the Grade 8.
Oh, head shaking right there. Yeah, you could see the frustration there. All right. So now Nick Novak will lead. Blake Olson will give chase. This is what really kind of forges a pro driver versus a Pro 2, a Pro 2 driver versus a Pro 2 champion, so on and so forth. Just getting your mind right, getting your vehicle, your equipment, your team, and also thinking about one battle at a time. You can't really get ahead of yourself and say like, oh, what if, coulda, shoulda, woulda. There's so many variables, and just coming into this round, Jonathan Hurst, the target was on his back, and unfortunately, it just didn't come together for him. And again, just that of Brudski, we saw that. Josh Love, Austin Mata, and now Blake Olson. Here we go. So Nick Novak.
That really important. Wow.
Yeah, so Nick Novak continues on through and finding out what's going to happen here. We'll see what happens. And again, the internet blowing up right now to find out, will Dimitri Brudski be your Link ECU Pro 2 champion? Blake Olson, Nick Novak, and again, Brudski waiting over in the hot pit area. So if Blake Olson, again, right now, Dimitri Brudski knocked out earlier by Misko. Nick Novak and Blake Olson going against each other. If Blake Olson loses, Dmitry Brutsky is your 2020 Link ECU Pro 2 champion, and there it is. Nick Novak gets the win. Nick Novak gets the victory, and Dmitry Brutsky is your Link ECU Pro 2 champion. There it is. Mr. Never Settle wipes his brow, and the relief is over for Brutsky. Frustration, like he said, for just under 4 minutes, and just there it is. So Nick Novak, the giant killer, he is absolutely stoked. There it is. Brutsky, 85, Never Settle from Massachusetts, gets the win. Talking about the championship as he gives Nick Novak some love, and he should give love to many drivers. But yeah, Nick Novak did a lot of work. Novak just taking out Olson. Novak taking out Josh Love. And right before that, Jonathan Hurst. Congratulations, Dmitry Brutsky, your Link ECU Pro 2 2020 champion.
Well, you know, it was a long shot for Olson, no question about it. And you could tell he was pushing for it. He needed to really go all the way and win that battle at the end of the night to be your champion. That's a long way to go. So Brutsky, after making some mistakes of his own and getting knocked out in the grade 8, was able to solidify it here with Olson taking himself out of mathematical chance. And we'll go back and take a look at it right now, because this is how it happened. If you missed any of the action, this is how Blake Olson ended his night. He started off low on the bank, going really quick, and just coming up too tight here on the transition to inside clip number 1, and that right there was all she wrote.
Yeah, just again, Novak became Blake back, and he got hit there, and that would be a wrap for him. So a great effort. Woo. So Misko and Novak are in the Final Four. We're talking about the Type S Final Four, the official lighting of Formula Drift. So Misko, Novak, we still have another great side of the Grade 8 to continue. Kelsey Rawlings, Mike Power, then we got Pretty Ricky Hoffman and Derek Madison. Let's jump right into it. Kelsey Rawlings, Mike Power. You see the numbers. You saw the driving earlier, the S14 with the Ford power plant, and then Mike Power and his beautiful looking S15 built by MA Motorsports. Let's jump right into it. Kelsey Rawlings out front. Mike Power in the chase position. Wow, Kelsey Rawlings throws it in. Great angle, high on the bank. Mike Power. Little less angle and slightly lower. Into that front clip, transitioning into the inner bank. Kelsey Rawlings. Oh, Mike, a little deeper there. A good flex, but we would definitely like to see him gain that proximity. Kelsey kind of overshooting that second inside clip and now into that final outside zone. Whoa, we got fire. Mike Power goes ablaze. That's like the third time we've seen that this weekend. And it always happens here at Irwindale. I mean, years ago with Forsberg, but how quickly it starts up, it definitely extinguishes itself.
So it's been that section of the course, the right rear, right? Every time we've seen it this weekend. Wow, so Kelsey Rawlings and Mike Power doing battle here. Try to find out who's going to be moving on into the Final Four. Here we go. Rawlings through Stuke in the last battle, trying to do some work here against Power. Nice job on the bank. Look at that nice, beautiful line. Really strong there from Rawlings. Got that one just right. Now Power looking for an opportunity here to attack. He moves into the wrong position here. He was anticipating that Rawlings is going to be up a little bit higher as Rawlings hits this inside clip, just nudging it there. And now Power coming through the smoke line. Rawlings transitioned a bit early to outside zone number 3, so she was not in it for the entire time. She got into it a bit late there, and then there's your courtesy fire cloud from Power in the chase.
Little Mike Power flambe.
But you know what? Kelsey Rawlings doing a pretty good job here. Just a couple minor mistakes. She could have been in outside zone 2 a little bit longer. And Power's having a tough time staying on that line.
From a different perspective, the way the camera shot, I said she overshot that second inside clip. But quite the contrary. She absolutely nailed it. I think Kelsey, woof, gosh, that is, yeah, nice. Well done. in Fuego, Mike Power, and the Power Racing S15. So Kelsey Rawlings definitely hit that second inside clip. All right, here we go. Let's alternate the order. Mike Power, Kelsey Rawlings. In the chase. Second run of this battle. And away they go. All right, second half of this grade 8 bracket. Power pulling away from Kelsey Rawlings. And you can see Mike Power definitely has the horsepower, but does not get high. Now past that front clip. And there, Power was tight to it. That inside clip. Outside zone goes Power. Kelsey struggling to hang with Mike Power. And into that final outside zone, you can see Kelsey shorten it up to gain that distance and close that gap. Ryan, what do you think here? Again, you could see Mike Power gapping Kelsey Rawlings out of the gate. Wasn't as high as Kelsey, but that distance, it seemed that she was just a little more underpowered than Mike.
Well, the interesting thing here is I think the judges are really going to be looking at the comparison of the chase runs, because I don't think that the lead runs are really that much comparable. I think Kelsey had a much better lead run here. She was super deep into outside zone 1. Outside zone 2, she had filled maybe 3/4 or a little bit longer and was in a pretty deep position there. Power, he got into the zone, but it was just not as impactful as Kelsey's run was, I don't think. Rawlings did have a little bit of a flub on this section there, so you could probably give a little check mark in the box in the favor of Power on his lead run there, but is that enough, to offset the comparison of the lead runs? So tough call for the judges here, bit of a back and forth battle. Maybe Power did a better job overall in his chase run, but let's find out what the judges think.
All right, waiting for the judges' verdict here. Not only us and all the fans, but of course the drivers, Kelsey and Power. Let's see what we got. Slide him left for Rawlings, right for Power. And there it is. Chris Yule says Mike Power. Ryan Lontaine says one more time. And Brian Eggert says one more time. And I definitely agree with that. It's just, that was, I think, a fairly equally matched battle. I think they just can tighten it up a little bit, twist the screws a little tighter, both on, just mentally and, of course, just throw it down. Get a little braver. Risk it for the biscuit. This is the final round as we take a look at the BC Racing custom coilovers side by side from the drones.
Well, yeah, this is definitely one of those runs, Jared, where you could have seen it one more time happening. Clearly, Kelsey had some really high marks in her lead run with one little adjustment. Power had some marks in his lead run that were comparable, but in terms of the overall lead run, I don't think he won that. However, he looks like he did a better job in the chase. And that's possible because Kelsey allowed that to happen by having a good lead. And I think the judges there made their decision, and at least in majority, it's going to go one more time.
Here we go. What's up, fellas and ladies and fans of all ages? AEM Virtual Fan Zone. And all right, we got people rooting for Kelsey right now. It went one more time, but right now, Madison or Reynolds, that's the question. So those watching the AEM Fan Virtual Zone, or AEM Virtual Fan Zone, excuse me. Here we go. Madison will lead, and Reynolds will give chase. Sorry, thank you. Madison and Ricky Hoffman. Thank you so much. Ricky Hoffman. Thank you. All right. Whoa, Madison goes into the wall. That could have gotten very sketchy real quick. Yeah, Ricky Hoffman chasing down Derek Madison. Madison is ripping into that second outside zone. Now into that front clip. There goes Madison. Both of them kind of off of that outside zone on the second one. Now bring it across. They quickly get through the course, but, just don't leave in the judges' hands. These guys, again, on initiation. We saw. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, Hoffman and Madison doing battle here. Let's take a look. A little bit low on the bank. Madison trying to work his way up. Hoffman a bit back, but he's on the correct line there, at least in following Madison as the lead driver. Coming through that first inside clip, and then setting up to the second outside zone. Let's see how he falls in line. Mid-line here. Driving right towards that wall, very intimidating. And then through this inside clip, Hoffman trying to catch up here, getting through that smoke line, not really pushing the pace that much. And you can see he kind of cut the line there to try to gain some proximity, which if you're gonna make a sacrifice, that's the way to do it.
Right.
Well, let's switch things up now as Hoffman goes to the lead.
Okay, so Ricky Hoffman, Madison. Yeah, I was listening to the judges. You're talking about low angle in the transition, right? Yeah. Yeah, just overhearing the judges rap out about it. We need that X factor, fellas. Come on, bring it. This is Irwindale, final round. Leave it all on the track. And there we go. Mr. Hoffman took a little less than that. Big angle. That's what we're looking for. Madison does have the proximity. Now let's see how Ricky handles this inside. Woo-wee. Nice job, that inside bank. Big angle there. It does allow Hoffman, and almost coming to a halt. Again, that angle there, you just kind of get that front clip out of shot. I mean, Hoffman's throwing down a lot of angle, but he's kind of rolling coal through there. You know what I mean?
For me, the dial was starting to go in his direction up until we got to that inside clip number 2, and then he pushed a bit too wide there. And meanwhile, Madison at least was keeping pressure on him. You can see he was on a lower line, and he had a little bit of a flub there, but there was some big angle up top by Hoffman. Now coming into the lower bank, you'll see both drivers setting it up here. Madison still keeping the pressure on, and I think this is one of the things that bodes well for him. Hoffman, though, was pretty deep into that outside zone, and then but he pushes way too wide. Now, if Madison was in a position where he had the car faced in a little bit of a different direction, he could have probably easily passed there.
Look at Hoffman left foot braking through that whole thing.
Yeah, and that's just something we've become accustomed to. You know, that's Ryan Lantain talked about that in the drivers' meeting this morning, that's pretty much the standard operating procedure. What they don't want to see is left foot braking that is decreasing the forward momentum. We understand that it can be used as a tool, but you know, the judges want to see it being used as a controlling tool, not as a deceleration tool.
All right, here's the BC Racing custom coilover side by side. You can see Madison leading on the left and Hoffman leading on the right. Anything stand out to you, Ryan? We just walked through, obviously, the Hoffman run. Yeah, well, the big bank was pretty good for Hoffman. Madison, I think, had overall better proximity. He was a little bit, aggressive in areas, made a couple little mistakes. See how he's diving in here? I don't think Hoffman was as much of a factor in the chase, but he did have a pretty solid lead run in some of the areas. Now, we said something similar about the last battle, and it went one more time, but one judge was convinced. This is one of those ones where I could potentially see one driver getting the win and one driver not, but I could also see it going one more time. I'm seeing a lot of fingers being held up saying one more time, but, what do we think? Reynolds, excuse me, not Reynolds, Ricky Hoffman or Derek Madison. A lot of OMTs.
Stephen Kwan.
Who's pulling for Madison? Who's pulling for Ricky Hoffman?
Ricky, let's go. Taguchi is in here.
Who's pulling for Adam LZ? Yeah, I knew it was coming. Oh, jeez. All right, we're seeing Ricky. Oh, I'm seeing Ricky up there. I'm seeing OMT, and I'm seeing Ricky. Look at the absolute bowl of smoke here at Irwindale Speedway. Ricky Hoffman, Derek Madison. Slide him left for Hoffman, right for Madison. Chris Yule says Hoffman, and Ricky Hoffman gets the win. Hoffman gets the win and advances on. Lantain, gonna go over to you. You sided with Ricky Hoffman, and I was hearing a lot of it from you in regards to lack of angle, but Ricky turned it up.
If you ain't first, you'll in.
All right,
Ricky Hoffman did a really great job in his lead run. He did a much better job of fulfilling the lead driver responsibilities. He started somewhat low in outside zone 1, but worked it up high in the mid to late part of outside zone 1, had a great transition coming inside clip 1 with angle, and then got really deep in outside zone 2. He did have a slight mistake going towards inside clip number 2, but finished the run, got through outside zone 3 pretty well. In the lead position, Madison did not fulfill the lead driver responsibilities. He was low on all the zones and really didn't give Hoffman the opportunity to chase properly. He didn't give him a good lead run to follow. One of the major areas was inside clip number 1, where he had really low angle. He kind of went by that front inside clip with his front right fender as opposed to the front of the car, whereas Hoffman did a much better job through there. So overall, Hoffman did a good job in the lead and was not given a good lead to follow. So lead-to-lead comparison, Hoffman wins. Chase to chase, Hoffman didn't really have a chance. So he moves on.
All right, thank you so much. Ricky Hoffman gets the win. Only one more driver joining the Final Four. Again, the Final Four, that is the Type S Final Four. So Hoffman will be going against either Kelsey Rawlings or Mike Power. Let's find out in this one more time battle. Kelsey Rawlings, that Top One Oil S14. Let's see how she handles it. Initiates, high on the bank. Mike Power works it higher as well. Coming off the bank into that front clip. Kelsey, really good angle into that front clip. Oh, Mike Power massages it to get to the side. Mike is bathing in the smoke. And now into that second front clip. Mike loses some angle here. Kelsey Rawlings into that final outside zone. Want to get a bird's eye view there. That second outside zone got very interesting, Ryan. Again, Mike, you saw him get a little deeper here. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, the dagger for Kelsey Rawlings' last battle was the lead run. You know, I think she did a little bit better on her big bank the last time around, but it may have, Power may have given her a bit of a favor, because watch this approach here to outside zone 2. He's trying to chase her down. She's not on a very good line. And then he pulls some angle out of the car, almost goes off course, then has to kind of massage his way around inside clip number 1. So it was kind of a missed opportunity there. Kelsey does fill outside zone 3, just at least right at the edge. But on the big bank on outside zone 2, she wasn't as much of a factor on this run. And even that mistake right there may have been kind of caused by Kelsey in a way, because Power was trying to attack, came up really close, and then had that mistake where he had to back off. So right now, if I was the spotter of Power, I'd be saying, focus on that quality lead run. That will be the difference in this battle.
Yeah, don't even worry about your rearview mirror. Don't worry about who's behind you. But Kelsey Rawlings, she knows she needs to put down a good, clean, consistent chase run. So here we go. Power quickly. Like I said, that gap there, you can see Power, maybe a little bit more horsepower, and Mike with some great angle on the bank. Now transition past that pro. Doctor, look at that. Mike Power brings it on in. Massive angle there. Kelsey Rawlings, like I said, seems like a horsepower deficiency here from Kelsey, but she still keeps it consistent. Here's the question here. Again, lead versus lead, chase versus chase, and Mike goes a little deep there on that outside zone. You can see knocking over a couple pylons. Like the angle, it made it look very exciting, Ryan. But Kelsey, lead versus lead, chase versus chase.
Well, he may have done enough here. He didn't go fully deep into outside zone number 1. He may have been playing it a little bit safe there, but at least he was midline and the angle was consistent. The transition to inside clip 1 was done pretty well. Outside zone 2 is pretty nicely done. See, he gets deeper into the zone later. Kelsey's following him into that zone, and they both miss inside clip number 2, which Power was in the lead. But this time around, he goes a bit too wide in outside zone 3. And once again, it's going to be a tough call for the judges. Kelsey was trying to wind him up here on the big bank. Didn't really fully get that opportunity. Power had enough to kind of keep that gap. And he was definitely not running away. He was trying to get deep into that zone as much as he possibly could. And for the judges here, another tough call, but was it enough for Power to move on into the Final Four?
Mike Power, Kelsey Rawlings, the winner going against Ricky Hoffman in the Final Four. Slide him left for Rawlings, right for Power. Chris Yule says Mike Power. Ryan Lontaine says Mike Power gets the win. Mike Power unanimously moves on into the Final Four. All right, the Type S Final Four is upon us. The official lighting of Formula Drift. This is Type S title fight. We have already crowned a Link ECU Pro 2 champion in Dmitry Brutsky. Question is, who's going to get the win at this iconic track Irwindale Speedway. Misko, talk about Steve Misko. He's one side, and then we got Nick Novak on the other, or Misko and Novak, and then you got Mike Power and Ricky Hoffman on the other. When we come back, we'll have our first battle of the Type S Final Four when we come back.
Link ECU produces standalone engine management technology with a range of products that allow you to unleash the power of your engine. Acting as your car's brain, Link ECUs control electronic fuel injection and ignition. A magnitude of sensor inputs and outputs ensure your engine exceeds your expectations. Built-in safety features guarantee engine protection, and data logs keep you informed on its performance. Smoke your tires, not your engine, with a world-leading Link ECU.
The Falcon Azenis RT660 is the enthusiast choice for ultra-high performance. Engineered for predictable handling and stability, the RT660 provides maximum traction both on and off the track. Your competitive edge has arrived with the Falcon Azenis RT660.
Holley's biggest sale of the year is here, November 20th through the 30th. Holley Days will feature daily deals and up to 20% off hot products. There's only one way to find out about the daily deals, and that's to visit Holley.com. Shop great brands such as MSD, B&M, Hooker, Mr. Gasket, and more. Holley's biggest sale of the year is here, November 20th through the 30th. Holley.com.
Honestly, I think the Achilles 123S is the best tire for drifting. It's just so consistent. There's so much grip.
I love being on Achilles. It is incredible. The tire is incredible.
It's the best tire that I've ever used. Tons of grip. It's just so consistent, precise, very predictable.
Having a tire that's consistent all the way through from when it's cold to when it's roasting hot is very important.
I really wouldn't want to be on any other tire.
Formula Drift is brought to you by Link ECU. Link Engine Management, the official ECU of Formula Drift. Achilles Tires, tires you can trust. And Ford.
Welcome back. The sun has definitely been gone for some time. If you just joined us, the Final Four, the Type S Final Four is upon us. We have crowned a champion, but who will win? Also, who will win Rookie of the Year? We have Royal Purple money up for grabs, and we have to find out who will win at this iconic track. Our first battle of the Final Four, one is already at the line, and look at this giant killer. Nick Novak finds himself here going for not a podium spot just yet, but if he gets the win, guaranteed a podium. But Misko, the way he got here, Misko started out, he got a bye against Wadman. He went through Andy Haley. Then he had to go against Brutski. He actually defeated Brutski, but Brutski waited to find out if he was going to be the champion. Then Nick Novak let him become champion because Novak, man, he's had a tough road. Jonathan Hurst, he had that of Love. Then Blake Olson, and here he is. Misko and Novak, our first battle, the Type S Final Four, the official lighting of Formula Drift. Steve Misko, through that start chicane, we got a clean start, the point of no return. moving one step closer to a podium at the House of Drift. Misko high on the bank, Novak massaging it. Weeble wobbles into the side of Misko. Misko pulling away, entering into that inner bank. Misko going a little bit deeper. Then Novak, look at that angle. See how they tighten it up to that front clip? Both of them right on it. Misko in that final zone. Novak with a nasty transition. No vehicles were hurt in the making of that flick.
Wow, Nick Novak
Sick.
looking like a stud tonight, taking down some big names and continuing this really high-level driving here in the in the Final Four. Let's see how it went down here.
One of our judges applauded like he just saw a ballet or like a Broadway show. It was awesome.
Well, Misko does a pretty good job, mid-high line on the bank, but Novak has been doing really well in the chase position. He gives a little bit of room there on inside clip 1, and then he starts looking for an area to attack here. Misko does not want to allow that to happen. Misko is right in the middle of outside zone 2, comes off, starts to get into inside clip number 1, and Novak is like, I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. He starts setting it up right at this point, dives in right on the back bumper, catches it, and keeps the proximity on as he wheels him in. A little bit of a tighter line, but the judges will definitely like that. A small sacrifice to gain proximity there. And now he'll have an opportunity to go to the lead as Steve Misko will chase him down.
Yeah, I mean, Novak is feeling the flow right now. He's just got a lot of momentum. He's got a lot of confidence on his side. You know, a spotter's in his ear saying like, yo, man, you got this. Keep doing you, baby boo, because you might take it to the top. Misko, again, the chase driver, can leave the start line prior to the lead car. Novak slingshots into the bank. Misko tucks in. Look at these cars. Very settled, Ryan. I like this. Novak. Set it and forget it. Past that front clip. Into that inner bank. Look at Novak going deep. Flirting with the wall, but Misko is everywhere Novak goes. Tight to that front clip. Let's see how Novak handles this. Misko follows Novak suit with that transition. Not the exact angle that Novak had, but still a great run from Misko and Novak. Might be the best run we've seen of Pro2 here this evening. Hats off to Steve Misko and Nick Novak. The spotters are getting reckless.
Well, Misko is not going to go quietly into the night. He comes back with a strong performance, and he starts it off by keeping the pressure on the bank, following the line that we see Novak drawing here. And this time, Misko is closer to Novak than Novak was to him on inside clip 1. Right into the pocket here as Novak draws a beautiful line, just coming off a tad bit early in outside zone 2. And then Misko is also going to look for that opportunity to attack on that final and third outside zone. So great back and forth battle here between Misko and Novak as the judges mull that one over. Seeing this side by side, and you'll notice, Jared, that one of the big differentiating factors is Misko in the chase stays with him in his proximity duration through inside clip 1 is a little bit stronger. See the separation there from Novak? Misko doesn't allow that to happen, and he stays tight on Novak into outside zone 2. Novak is doing pretty much the same thing. You can see he was a little bit tighter on inside clip number 2, and he dove in there.
That was
now
pretty.
Misko wanted to see if he could do the same thing. He had a little bit less angle. He maybe even rubbed the front tire. And if there's something that's deserving of a one more time, that's definitely right in the ballpark. So beautiful run by both those guys, and it looks like the fans are loving it as well.
A lot of OMTs from the AEM virtual fan zone right now. You guys think one more time out there? Wow. The spotters are right here in front of us. You know, just we're up in the boxes, and they are right in front, and they are absolutely just hyped right now for their drivers.
This is the drone side by side. You can see that there are areas where Misko pushed a little bit harder, especially on inside clip 1. Novak was pretty consistent as well, and Novak had a really good line into outside zone number 2. Misko and Novak both dive into outside zone 3. Misko has a little bit more, it was more aggressive throughout outside zone 3, but with less angle there. And Novak really looks strong in that section as well. So close run here. Both guys phenomenal. Whoever gets the win here, or if it's one more time, I think there's satisfaction all around.
There we could see the decel zones there. Again, going past inside clip 1 into outside zone 2. That's decel exiting out right prior to the inside clip 2, and then exiting into outside zone 3, the AM virtual fan zone. You guys saying one more time? Is that what's up? Is that unanimous? Look at everybody throwing up the number 1. Misko, Novak, slide him left for Misko. Chris Yule says one more time. Ryan Lantagne says one more time. Let's see him go at it again. OMT. Don't leave it in the judges' hands. As sensational as it was, all the fans agree we are going OMT one more time between Misko and Novak. Woof. That was solid. That was a fan. That was worth the wait. Chris Yule, one of the judges, saying worth the wait, and I couldn't agree. All right. Yeah, there we are. You could see just the evidence of tire slaying up in the air, the Type S lights in all the suites. Ryan?
Yes?
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. It's been an exciting night here.
Staying out of the cold?
I am staying out of the cold. Dmitry Brutsky there capturing his title here tonight, the champion. We will have a celebration with him and the podium finishers after the evening here, but he gets to celebrate for the next 6 months, basically, because he has an opportunity to go to pro, but he's going to be sitting on that championship. We still have to find out who's going to be on the podium tonight, so let's go to Mike Power and Ricky Hoffman.
Mike Power, Ricky Hoffman. You can see the horsepower difference there. I think Mike's got a little more than he's claiming there. We saw just how strong he was as far as just jumping out. And you can see, again, Mike Power just pulling away from Kelsey Rawlings earlier. Let's see how these guys fare. And you know, Ryan Lantagne and the judges were all talking about it, seeing more angle, and Ricky definitely turned it up. Let's see what we got. Mike Power, Ricky Hoffman, the other side of the Link ECU Final Four, Run 1, hashtag FDIRW. If you're watching at home, tell everybody to tune in. Remember, tomorrow night, round 8 of the Pro Championship. Mike Power, Ricky Hoffman, throwing down. Into the bank goes Power. High initiation, has to drop down a little bit, works his way up. Yes, sir. Great angle for both the drivers. Some separation between Power and Ricky. Down to that second outside zone. A little bit of wavering there for Power. Ricky taking a tighter line. Both of them hitting about that second hash mark on that front clip. Now through that outside zone goes both the drivers. Ryan.
Well, in the 3 major outside zone areas, you see that there was a pretty good job done there by Power. He starts off mid-line, but he works his way up, and he uses his angle to stay off the wall, and that certainly is appreciated. Through inside clip number 1, as he gets into outside zone 2, you can see a little bit of a gap established. There is that slight wavering there, but he corrects for it, and he stays in the zone for a pretty long period of time, and he doesn't really sacrifice a big chunk of inside clip number 1. He's on about the second hash mark. Now, the final turn here, he sets it up for outside zone 3. So as a lead driver, that's a great job by Mike Power. Now, how was Hoffman doing in the chase? Was he surging forward? Was he trying to gain proximity? He certainly was trying, but that could be a difference for Power this next time around if he's able to do a better job in the chase. And we know what Hoffman needs to do. He's got to go out there and put on a really strong lead, because really Power didn't really make too many mistakes in the lead.
I will say that, you know, when the judge were talking about more angle, I don't literally think that he heard that and said pour it on. But when Ricky Hoffman went through the course, he had a lot of angle, but he wasn't very fast through with that angle. We'll see if he picks up the pace here, because Mike does have that Power on deck, and see if he has that composure. Ricky Hoffman, great angle there. There's Mike Power. He is lower than him on that angle, so it looks like, yeah, he is definitely picking up the pace into that second outside zone. Look at Ricky goes deep, and Mike Power right there, like I said, I do not think he's slowing down whatsoever. Man, this guy has telekinesis. He's definitely taking hints from what we're saying up here, and Mike Power brings it on in, almost overshoots in that last outside zone, kind of cut the line to get closer to him.
Well, Hoffman came back a little bit there in his lead run. As you mentioned, he wasn't necessarily as high on the big bank, but he did have some great moments on the inner bank, and especially on outside zone number 3. Let's take a look at it here. Midline on the bank for Hoffman in the lead. Power trying to close the door here. He does get pretty close leaving the bank through inside clip number 1. You can see both drivers setting up to outside zone 2. Still a ton of smoke on the course. And Hoffman this time around, he's pretty deep into outside zone number 2. Very similar to Power on his lead run. Power almost washes out there, but he gets back in by driving right into the smoke line of Hoffman through this final outside zone. And then we see that Hoffman hooks up to that final section there, doing a pretty good job. So the judges, once again, seeing a bit of a back and forth battle here between these two competitors about who's going to move on into the finals.
Man, would you agree? A well-deserved Final Four here.
A well-deserved Final Four? Oh, for sure, for sure. These guys are working hard. See, that's where the big difference is on the left screen with Power in the lead. Let's take a look at the interbank side by side together. See, Hoffman is a little bit deeper initially in outside zone 2. So, I mean, let's just say, all right, hey, the leads are the similar. Is there a differentiating factor in the chase? Do you see one that you can point to and is justified enough to move it in one direction or the other?
Right, that's the big one, justified. Like, you know, you could start, now's when we're really splitting hairs. That's where I'm seeing Brooks Church saying one more time there. All right, slide him left for Power, right for Ricky Hoffman. Oh, look at this. And Chris Yule says Mike Power. Ryan Lantain says one more time. Brian Eggert says Mike Power gets the win. Mike Power moves on. He is guaranteed a podium spot. Mike Power is going to the Type S Finals. So the title fight, Ricky Hoffman will be going to the third place battle. Again, well-deserved between all the Final Four drivers. So Ricky Hoffman will wait in the wings, as will Mike Power, but right now it's all about Novak and Steve Misko. We'll go back to that one more time battle. Oh, a lot of these fans, a lot of you guys in the AM virtual fan zone are saying one more time.
If I was a fan, I would want one more time all the time, too.
Yeah, exactly. It just goes without saying, right? Like,
you know, what's interesting about this Final Four is we're not seeing any of our championship contenders in the mix. In the midst. And what I think is going to boil down here when we do our podium ceremony is you're going to see Brutski as the champ, Hurst in second place, and Mata in third. That looks to be the way things are locking up here. None of those guys will be on the podium here tonight for the actual win. But it just shows you the diversity of this 2020 class.
There we go. All right, nice. Well said, Ryan. Misko and Novak. Misko high on the bank. Woo! Look at this. Are you kidding me? Solid. Oh, Misko comes down and impedes. Oh, boy, you are flirting with disaster, my friend. That could have been ugly. Let's take a look at this again. That got hairy. Misko salvages that run. And Novak, you know what? He kept his composure too. Ryan, I want to see a few different angles of this because Misko was going for the glory, but you still have a few more turns than just that one big bank, my friend.
Well, he was going for that impact, wasn't he? Misko starts high on the bank and ends high on the bank, but so much angle forced him off a bit early.
Whoa.
And luckily Novak was able to kind of see it and make an adjustment. Now right there, I think the judges could potentially give that an incomplete. It almost looks like a reinitiation, but let's watch the rest of the run and see. Misko trying to fly through the course, comes off outside zone too early. He's still a bit unsettled from the mistake that was made. And Novak is really just trying to figure out what do I need to do against this guy? Where can I attack? As he starts to attack here, he backs off for a second. He starts reducing his angle. Now he gets back in it. He's starting to see that Misko's going to make it around. Big angle to inside clip 1, but pushes way too wide. And then that allows Novak to kind of lock in on the back bumper here through the finish line. So, wow, it got crazy there at the beginning. Almost saw a really gnarly crash that was brewing. But luckily, both guys came out of it okay.
Yeah, he was puckering up
headed
there.
Towards that wall.
He was puckering up, dude. And you know what? I think he'd rather take a correction as opposed to a written-off vehicle.
I want to just give you some information that's coming in here as we're looking at Misko and Power. It looks like Power, who started this event in 12th place outside of the licensing requirement, is going to possibly jump to a minimum rank of 6th place by how well he's done here tonight, which means that does make him up for going to the pro class in 21 if he wants to.
Wow, that just really goes to show you, to be quite honest, truth be told, as I know you love that saying that I say all the time, how important every round is when there's only 4 rounds.
Yeah, that's
so
the key point.
It's a lot of pressure,
That's the key point. You really can't have a lot of DNSs or early outs. Ooh. And that's where things got. See, he made a couple really big bobbles there, and the truth be told camera up above really gives us some good insight there about how shaky Misko was coming off of the bank. He had almost what looked like to be a reinitiation, trying to resettle the line. And it's hard to fault Novak when that's going on in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to wonder, how close should I get to this guy? How aggressively should I chase? Because once this happens, see, Novak is in really good proximity here. He angles up. Now Misko's coming down off the line. He has to make a big adjustment of his own. Now, all of this and that separation can basically go against Misko in that particular situation. And it's not until here where both cars are kind of settled where you can put some responsibility back on Misko. I mean, excuse me, back on Novak.
Yeah, and you saw, with Novak's gloves being that bright yellow, that high vis, you saw him actually pull the handbrake. He's like, whoa, buddy, like, easy up there, pony.
That's that responsibility of the chase that we were talking about earlier in the show.
Yeah.
Responsibility of the lead.
Yes. All right, so Misko, Novak. Novak will now lead. This is the one more time battle. Mike Power waits in the wings in the finals, as does Ricky Hoffman. Novak initiates. You can see that front left just coming to a halt there. Not as high as Misko, but if he has a decent, smooth run here, he could maybe take an advantage. Oh, and Misko dives in on the inside. Novak continues through Misko with the contact. Novak stays in it. Woo! Got some contact. Houston, no, we do not have a problem, just we got contact.
Oh, boy. Well, things certainly got a little bit more spicy here towards the latter part of the show with Misko and Novak.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We got to do the wave.
Here we go. Novak in the lead position. Misko keeping the pressure on. As you said, Novak was really nowhere to be found in terms of the right line on the big bank. And Misko's trying to take advantage of that. Keep the pressure on, follow that lead line. But as we get into the second outside zone, look at that right there. A big flub in the chase position from Steve Misko. Now, he's got a lot of proximity. He does make contact. That would be a mistake on Misko since they are accelerating through that section of the course. And in the final turn there, big smoke cloud as both drivers are approaching the finish line. Right there. Ooh. He's so lucky the wheels didn't get thrown, or the steering wheel didn't get thrown out of his hand.
And I'm glad it wasn't wheel to wheel. Looks like Misko hit just behind that front left. You could see the black rubber mark on the Coro Works, a.k.a. Elton the Spaceman, the Rocket Man there. So, man, Coro Works doing some great work here tonight. Both Blake Olson and now Nick Novak. Again, some great driving. This Final Four, well-deserved. Here we go. Sliding left for Misko, right for Nick Novak. Who's going against Mike Power in the finals? It's Nick Novak. Novak is going to the finals. Nick Novak, Mike Power, and now we are seeing Ricky Hoffman go against Steve Misko. So we'll get some fresh rubber, some fuel in the tanks, and we will find out who gets third place first, and then we will see the finals. What a journey it has been. We've seen just calamity. We've seen the crashes. We've seen all the excitement, and now our Type S Final Four is upon us, and now we'll see our third place battle, Misko versus Hoffman, and then our finals, Novak versus Power, when we return here to the House of Drift. Don't go anywhere.
Can I get the cast on set? Can I get the cast on set? Came with the black mask again. Throw down, go the distance like a javelin. Roll out, always take it, never ask to win. So I never drop the ball like I'm traveling. Hey, only ever fade away to make a play. Before in the game, I don't need a break. Got these bench warmers need to stay awake. like it's a home game, but they about to feel away. Ain't nobody wanna body anybody.
In my 1,000 horsepower competition drift car, I use Royal Purple XPR 5W50. XPR is specifically formulated to increase horsepower and torque in high performance and racing engines. And its revolutionary Cinderlick additive technology and zinc phosphorus fortified formulation provides the highest level of protection against heat and wear. The new 550 is all killer, no filler. It has better high temperature performance than any other 2050 engine oil. The result is a performance oil that protects like no other, utilizing superior base oils and additives. It's what sets Royal Purple apart from the rest, and what is also transferred down to their HPS high performance street oil, which is what I run in my daily drifter. So from here to here, all you get is extreme performance from the synthetic experts. Royal Purple.
Honestly, I think the Achilles 123S is the best tire for drifting. It's just so consistent. There's so much grip.
I love being on Achilles. It is incredible. The tire is incredible.
It's the best tire that I've ever used. Tons of grip. It's just so consistent, precise, very predictable.
Having a tire that's consistent all the way through from when it's cold to when it's roasting hot is very important.
I really wouldn't want to be on any other tire.
Formula Drift is brought to you by BC Racing, the official suspension of Formula Drift. Go for gold. And by Falcon Tire.
Welcome back as we are seeing first up Misko versus Hoffman in the third place battle, the Type S title fight. The title of your Pro2 champion, specifically the Link Engine Management Pro2 champion, Dmitry Brutsky. There is the trusty steed that got him there. Never settles the sticker that's on his bumper, and he never settled. Even though he's not on the podium, he does get the championship. Oh, word? I had no idea. We're finding out that Misko and Hoffman actually live together. They're roommates. So that should be interesting, right?
I love that. That's awesome.
Right? Yeah, both from Jersey. Good friends. You can see that Old Bridge and Jackson, roommates, and now here they are going for third place.
Whoever loses has to take out the trash and clean the house for 2 weeks. Right? Did you always hate fighting with your roommates about that?
Yeah.
This guy never takes out the trash. He never cleans
the dishes.
the
It's the dishes and the trash.
Yep.
Yep, always. Yep. Cups everywhere. That's my big thing. I hate when cups are everywhere. That drives me nuts. Here we go. This for third place. Speaking of cups, who's going to hold up the carbon fiber cup here in Pro 2? Steve Misko, Ricky Hoffman, roommates, and now bitter enemies. Here we go. Third place at Irwindale, the House of Drift. Misko will lead. Ricky Hoffman giving chase. Misko initiates aggressively on the bank. Hoffman Oh, look at that. You saw him work it up higher on the bank. Hoffman making me a little bit nervous there. Transition, taking out that front clip is Misko into that second outside zone. Hoffman shimming his way past that inside clip once again. Whoa, Hoffman, sick transition into that outside zone. So again, them being roommates, them being partners, they were like, you know what'd be sick is if we went against each other at Irwindale, and now it's coming to fruition.
Hoffman got dangerously close to touching the wall here. Let's take a look at him first in the chase. He's up, 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 up. Gets really close, but as he comes down off the bank, he's gonna start looking for that opportunity to attack. You can see Misko takes out that inside clip, gets off the brakes to set up in that decel zone to outside zone number 2. Comes off a little bit early, and Hoffman takes that tighter line to gain proximity. And as they transition into this final outside zone, here comes Hoffman, tucks up on the inside, gets right on that line with Misko. Great job there. Slightly less angle, but beautifully executed. And now we'll switch things up. Hoffman goes to the lead. Misko will take the chase position.
Hoffman out front, Misko. What do we got, fellas? Third place. Remember, we have Nick Novak and Mike Power in the finals. Some great runs just coming to fruition here in the Final Four. The Type S Final Four, and now in the Type S third place battle. The F-150 parking. All right, we got a wave. Here we go. We got a wave going. There we go. The AM Virtual Fan Zone. Nice. Look, we got nice, solid, getting hyped up in here. These are wacky wave inflatable crazy arm guys is what they are. I like it. Oh, we're offering cheese balls. Thanks, homeboy. Appreciate the cheese ball offer. I'm full. Here we go. Second half of this battle. Ricky Hoffman out front, Misko in the chase position. Ryan, do you think we have an advantage after that first battle? Slightly, maybe. Okay, he's not looking at the crystal ball right now. Doesn't want to sway. Here we go. Hoffman, Misko. Misko a little higher on the bank. Hoffman works it up like he did in that chase position. Misko dropping down. Oh, a big brake check. A big straightening there for Misko. I'm going to want to look at that for sure, and we will, of course. And Misko taking a shallower line. Hoffman. Oh, we got fire once again. Look at this. Bringing around that final outside zone. Misko does apply the pressure. He splits off the other way. Ryan, really want to take a look at Misko in that chase position, and especially past that first inside clip.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's definitely something to take a look at again here.
Question is it an incomplete?
Well, let's see how it transpires. You can see that Misko is keeping the pressure on here. He dives down a little bit, maybe anticipating a different bounce off of the outside zone, and he does fall back and make a mistake, a pretty sizable mistake. He's able to kind of get back in the pocket here, but he's on a tighter line trying to play catch up here to Hoffman, who's doing a pretty decent job in the lead position. There's where our smoke comes, or our fire comes up. And Misko, who's got a lot of grip in that car, was able to close the door on multiple occasions after losing ground. And then Hoffman peels off to the left. Misko moves off to the right. So Misko is definitely on one tonight, looking like he's got a lot of confidence in that vehicle. But you can see right there, as Hoffman leaves the outer zone up high, Misko came down real low. And from that point forward, he was really having to drive maybe more aggressively than he wanted to or needed to do things like that. And to do things like this transition here to put the pressure back on in outside zone 3. Now, these are all good signs as the chase driver. But how will that mistake play a role in the overall scheme of things?
So here's, I mean, did Hoffman throw off Misko? Is also another consideration there on that bank, which, you know, once you start the run, give him a little Hadouken there towards the end. And crosses that finish. Yeah, these guys not making it easy on the judges, to be quite honest. So Misko and Hoffman waiting, as are the judges waiting for, I think, the virtual show. What do we think over there, the AM Virtual Fan Zone? Where are my Misko fans at? All right, who's pulling for Ricky Hoffman?
Ricky, let's go.
I'm seeing a couple OMTs, seeing a couple Rickies here.
That's tough call. Tough call. Paco with the flag. Robbie in the show, Paco.
All right. Again, here we go. Slide him left for Misko, right for Hoffman. Chris Yule says Misko. Ryan Lontaine says Ricky Hoffman. And Eggert says, one more time.
Now that's our first real split.
That's the truest split of them all. Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice as okay, so it is a one more time, and we will not advance on to the finals until we get some yeah, Lontaine, going to you if we could put on your headset there. And yeah, I mean, that was, again, across the board. You got Ricky, you got Steve, you got one more time. Lontaine, going to you.
Yeah, I just liked what Ricky Hoffman did in the lead position. I thought he did a good run. And in the chase, Misko made some compromises, I felt like. And, you know, the question was at the end there, did Ricky transition over the finish line? I don't know why he did what he did at the finish line, but the question was, did he, you know, go opposite drift, or did he straighten before the finish line? But it looked like he was over it before he snapped the car back the other way, so let him get away with that one. But, yeah, that's how I felt about it. Clearly, the other two judges had different thoughts.
Here's a side-by-side. If you could walk us through some standout moments for you. Notably for me, again, Misko going off, you know, and making that major correction off the bank. That was a... Yeah,
that had a lot to do with it for me in the chase position as well. The way Misko came down off of outside zone number 1 when he was in the chase position, ended up getting a... You could almost call it straight, but I don't know if the car fully settled in that straight position, but definitely on a poor line. And, you know, a lazy transition is the nicest thing you could say about what he did there.
Yeah, all right. Well, thank you, Ryan, for your insight on behalf of the judges again. But obviously, your decision was your own because the other judges went with either one more time or the other driver. So can't advance on because next stop will be the final. So we're going to throw some fresh rubber underneath the vehicle, some fuel in the tank, and we're going to turn it up once again here for third place. Steve Misko versus Ricky Hoffman. So and here's a little FD Bites, one of my favorite little segments here. So check it out, FD Bites.
Trick or treat, yeah. What's your number one must-have tool in the box here? Tire pressure gauge, I would probably say, and torque wrench. Those are the two main tools. Make sure everything's ready to go.
We're gonna race today. We're gonna actually make it past the chicane.
Yeah, that's the goal.
We're gonna do smoky burnout in the box, get up to the line, and first and second are gonna work, and then fourth, and then we're gonna burn out all the way around the track.
You skip third?
Uh-huh.
What's your take on the back-to-back events this year?
I mean, I like it. I feel like it's not a bad thing, and you know, you have a lot of people that are traveling a long distance to get here, and you know, some of them get knocked out in the top 32. You have a bad day. Look at like Justin Pollock yesterday, you know, and so you have another day to come back and make up for it. I think that's a good thing. So I think
the fans would like it as well. If you can't make it Saturday, you can make it Sunday. So a little more opportunity to see them.
It's good. Nice weather. We're from Washington, so it always rains. It's nice to not have it rain.
What's up, boys?
What's up, brother?
What's up with you?
Rip, Havasu's on the way home.
I'm not on a boat, and I don't have a margarita in my hand, so not quite there yet, bud. Next best thing, dude, you got a flat bed and a full cooler of water, huh? No, but there's no beers in here.
Pretty good. We got 4 tires on, making some laps, so I'd say all's good in, Driftland today.
Made it out of the burnout box, so that's always a plus.
Dude, we take these little victories. If we can get from the pit to the burnout box, that's good. Get through the burnout box to the starting line, we'll take it.
Here's what's crazy. A friend of mine and a fan of ours, Naris, he actually made a custom Stanley, Stetson cowboy hat for this round with my name on it, with my number on it. He was going to give it to me yesterday, but because the fans are a mile away, we never got to meet up. So that was a bummer. Leave that ignition on.
The remix to ignition, hot, fresh up and kitchen. How are they still running them?
Yeah, 7 minutes.
Chilling, dude.
I know, like.
It's almost party time.
Okay.
Nah, man, my box was way bigger than their box. It's cool. We're way happier. Those guys have done that before. It's fine. We were good. We were good. Yeah. Yeah. We're doing it again now. We're gonna make it on top of their little box.
Oh my gosh, round 6, Texas. We're just about ready to get going. So excited. Yesterday, I mean, my gosh, it just kind of rolled in and then it just started full bore, went straight into 4th gear pin. So just really excited for round 6 and see what these guys are about to do.
What's your take on them finals?
Excellent.
Second place last night, first place tonight, and the battles didn't get any easier. It was absolute carnage. Everyone just kind of smashing and bumping into each other. It was just about who could keep their cool, who could push through the smoke.
He has his winning hats ready. It's the winning hats.
See these?
Because it has wreaths on it.
See the wreaths?
Yeah, wreaths.
Oh, wreath.
Yeah, well, like that's winning.
Quality of Japanese craftsmanship. Brid.
What is power and control? Power is the sprint. Control is the hurdle. Power is the flame. Control is the perfect steak. Power is turbulence. Control is containment. Power is the ignition. Control is the sensor. NGK and NTK. Power under control.
We're here for the perfectionists, the champions of doing things right. Whether they're in the shop or in the driveway, they trust O'Reilly Auto Parts because good enough won't cut it here. For over 50 years, we've been helping perfectionists get exactly what they want and exactly what they need without compromise, turning that problem into a problem solved. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
The Falcon Azenis FK510 tire is engineered for today's high-performance vehicles. Built with added tread rigidity for precise handling and an advanced rubber compound that inspires confidence, rain or shine. Get more out of your sports coupe or sedan with the Azenis FK510.
We are in the burnout box. That means we are ready to send it. Here we go, Misko and Hoffman, 2 roommates. And it was a close battle, so they are going OMT. That stands for one more time. Let's see if we can set up these pins and knock them down like we're at the bowling alley here at Irwindale and the House of Drift. As our Link Engine Management Pro2 Championship continues in the Type S 3rd place battle. Misko and Hoffman going at it once again. Sending cars just as quick as that. Misko will lead. Ricky Hoffman will give chase. Our AEM virtual fan zone exploding, saying, yeah, let's go. Let's do it again, baby. Send it! Misko and Hoffman. Misko. A little bit low on the bank compared to previous runs, but they're massaging it up high. Look at these 2 masseuses hitting all the right spots. Coming into that outside zone. Woo! Misko goes deep. Looking like Ice Cube, nice job. Past that 2nd inside clip and that 3rd outside and final zone. Man, Those white lines, they are far gone at this point. Misco really deep in that second outside zone by Misco.
So what did we learn? What did either driver learn from that one more time battle, or that battle that led to the one more time? Misco out front this time around. Midline on the bank. Hoffman not letting him get away. Great job tucking up on the inside, trying to stay on that line with him. Has a slight little adjustment there, but proximity looks pretty good. There's that adjustment from the ground level shot. Now as we hit inside clip number 1, Hoffman navigating through the smoke line, transitions right behind him, and Misco was on a tighter line, which put him up way early on outside zone number, or excuse me, way late on outside zone number 3, and Hoffman was able to be really close to him, almost driving past him there just because of where the line had set each other up. And so now we'll switch things up now with Ricky Hoffman taking the lead position, and Misco, we've seen him have some really aggressive chases. Can he hold it together, not make any mistakes, and who's going to win the third place battle?
Here we go. Ricky Hoffman out front. Misco in the chase position, banging doors. Oh, wow, look at that. Hoffman staying in, and Misco way out of shape. And Ricky Hoffman continues on. Misco shuts it down. If Ricky Hoffman continues on the course, I believe he will have this potential victory, but we will have to assess because Ricky Hoffman was in the lead position. Could he have slowed down? Misco being too aggressive. Again, good friends. They're obviously friends, or maybe they're not. Maybe this is it. This is the end of them cohabitating together. Maybe this is the end of their roommate-ship. Holy cow. And, yo, look at that. So, again, third place battle. Each driver battling has no power steering. Hoffman has no power steering. Misco, it actually shuts off when he decells. We're going to update from Lorette Nickel.
Yeah, so I mean, all of the moments of consequence are going to be right there. Obviously, Misco was not able to finish off the run. Hoffman, if he had damage to his vehicle, wouldn't need to finish it, but he did finish it. So that's going to be a bit more of a benefit for him if fault does come down to Misco. And now the judges will have to make their call here. Remember, the decel zone in that particular area is right around initiation. Right at initiation. So it's actually before they get into the outside zone, and that was a bit after that. And there we see on the phone. Is he on the phone? Yeah, he is.
Look, is he swiping? What's going on here? Swipe or no swiping? Slide into those DMs, bro. What's cracking? All right, so for third place, again, I think he was texting him that you have to move out. You know, they were roommates before. Now he's saying, you just beat me. You got to move out. Misco or Hoffman? Who gets third place? Slide him right for Hoffman, left for Misco. And there it is. Ricky Hoffman gets third place. Ricky Hoffman gets third place. Wow. So look at that. Ricky Hoffman gets that final podium spot. Hoffman started the day, was to go against Lynn, and then he was supposed to go against Austin Mata. Mata goes into the wall. Hoffman goes through Derek Madison, Mike Power takes him out because Mike Power's in the finals, and Power and Novak in the finals. Ricky Hoffman, your third place winner at the final round of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship run.
Yeah, and just, thinking about the championship as well, remember, unofficially, Brudski the champion, or excuse me, officially Brudski the champion, and Love in third place with Hurst in second. But they're not going to see the podium tonight. They got knocked down. We're going to see a brand new podium here, and some great work by these gentlemen, as now we'll move on to our finals with two guys that they've had the standout performances tonight, I think, overall. Yeah. Novak has been a giant killer, and Power has just had some super strong moments. Both these guys fighting through tough brackets on their side to get to where they are now, and one of them will reign supreme here as we close out the 2020 season for Pro 2.
Yeah, it's definitely been exciting. And I think you said it perfectly earlier. Just the diversity of drivers goes to show you just the class of 2020 here, and just the talent that exists.
Yeah, for sure. And some guys that really excelled in the wet conditions in Seattle, the fast and smoky craziness of Texas, the challenges of a tighter course in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the beast that we have here, Irwindale Speedway, is really where those champions are made.
This has got to be a dream come true. Let's send it here for our finals. Round 4 of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. Mike Power and Nick Novak. Mike Power initiates into the bank. Nick Novak right there. Could work his way a little higher, and he does that. Little wavering there by Novak. Oh, and he comes out of the smoke on the, about to be on the wrong side of that inside clip. Mike Power does exactly what his name is. Powers his way through that second outside zone, past the front clip, and into that final outside zone. Fills all of it, does not get into the pylons. And Nick Novak, we got to take a look at that, Ryan. And you saw him come out of that transition and make a correction.
That was the first, I think, major mistake that I can recall that Novak has made, and his chase runs have looked phenomenal. I think he gets lost in the smoke here as they transition right there. Yeah, it just looks like he doesn't know where he was on course. Transitioned a bit too early, came through the smoke line, and he was pointed on the opposite side of that inside clip. He does need to reinitiate there, so that could potentially be an incomplete for Novak in the chase position. But either way, it's a huge opportunity for Mike Power here. Now, if I'm the spotter of Power, I'm strategizing right here.
Yeah.
I don't want this to go to a one more time. I want to end it right now, and to do that, you're going to have to keep the pressure on, but you know that Novak has a mistake that is sizable enough to where a reasonable chase run could get the job done.
For sure, for sure. But you know that Novak also has been crushing it. Like I said, that was pretty much his first mistake because he's just the giant killer here. So Novak, wow, look at that, leaves the start line, but Power does have power. Oh, man. Look at this gapping him out of the gate, launches.
Don't do it, Power.
Nick Novak.
There you go.
Big angle there from Novak. Power gives himself a little bit of room. And let's see how they go into this inner bank outside zone. Good job by Novak. Mike Power is playing all the scenarios in his head. What could happen here? Novak knows he's got the clean air. He can throw down a solid line. But Mike Power continues on through the course. And I think that was strategy right there. Just don't throw it away. A lot of pressure, a lot of nerves, making, I got to think, what a dream come true truly is.
And the bar to get that done there, I think Power did it almost as perfectly as you could. Here, it got a little bit scary because he gave a big gap, but look, he quickly starts getting it back. And he doesn't let Novak run away with it. He kind of keeps himself in the general vicinity, charges at the right time. Novak has got to lay down a flawless lead run and then hope that a mistake is made by Power that's significant enough to turn it in another direction or at least a one more time. And that's a tall order here. So Power strategically did the right thing, keeps the pressure on through inside clip one, backs off for a second, and then one final push here as we do the last turn of 2020 potentially to find out who's going to win here at Irwindale Speedway.
All right, what do you guys think? Mike Power? Oh, everybody's, all right, you guys can become judges too. All right, they're saying Power. Look at this, I'm seeing one more time. I know y'all are selfish. You want to see him run again. But Novak had that major mistake, and it looks like we do have a result. So we do know that Ricky Hoffman gets third place here at round 4 of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. And Ryan, you brought up that great point of none of our overall championship, contenders, 1, 2, and 3 overall in the season. Dimitri Brudski is our champ. What was second and third again?
So right now, unofficially, it's Brudski. Officially, it's Brudski as the champion. Jonathan Hurst at 252 in second place. Joshua Love at 228 in third. Austin Mata at 216 in fourth. And Blake Olson unofficially at 216 points, rounding out your top 5.
Wow. Yeah, so we will see Brudski down at the podium, and that's where we will award the trophies. And this is all about our final podium finishers here. Ricky Hoffman, Nick Novak, Mike Power will announce the winner as these two gentlemen rocking a couple Bernies, a couple donuts. Looks like Novak wants to join them. Hey guys, can I join the party? Let me in here. Whoa, getting a little sketchy there. All right. Okay, and there they are, coming down front and center. And bringing them up to the traditional start-finish. And as they get out of their vehicle, again, a roar comes over the crowd. A roar from our spotters cheering them on. An awesome Pro 2 here at Irwindale. Thank you to our fans for joining us online. Let's make some noise for them. Some hugs all around. Again, that third place battle, 2 roommates, smiles on faces, smiles for miles. All right, third place here at round 4 of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship from New Jersey. Make some noise for Ricky Hoffman. And your winner here at round 4, the final round here at Irwindale Speedway, the House of Drift. And Ryan, we've never, I'm trying to recall Pro 2 here before. We've had maybe Pro-Ams back in the day, but a Pro 2 round hasn't happened here.
It's been years.
Been years. So making some history here for the final round, round 4 of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. Your winner is Mike Power gets the win. Mike Power gets the win here in Irwindale. A dream come true, emotions flooding over Mike Power. He is your winner here at Irwindale. You can see Ricky Hoffman giving him a hug, and there is another hug. That means second place here at round 4 of the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship. Again, your second place finisher in that Cora Works BMW is Nick Novak. Nick Novak, second place. So there it is, Power, Novak, Hoffman, your 1, 2, and 3. What'd you guys think there? The AM Virtual Fan Zone. Thank you guys and gals for joining us online. The AEM Virtual Fan Experience continuing on into tomorrow. Ryan, Mike Power, getting emotional down there.
I enjoyed seeing it. You know, it's a really hard thing to do to run a Pro 2 campaign. It's much harder to do it when the world is falling apart. And to see these guys come out and do well here, and especially congratulations to Dmitry Brutsky, who is a well-deserved champion. It got close there for a second. There were some doors open. He was the most consistent driver throughout the season. He looked impressive in wet and dry conditions. Congratulations to him and Jonathan Hurst. And just look at how close that championship ended up being at the end of the day.
8 points between Brutsky and Hurst, and you can see separation there from Love. But hey, you know what? Love finishes third place after a very violent crash on Thursday. And I know he put up a great post, and if you could look at it, watch the video of Love. Him and his team getting the car back together, you know, Big Duck Club, getting everything together, and here he is. He finishes third overall. I think that's a victory in itself.
It's a well-deserved season for everybody, including the top guys and the guys that didn't have it the season that they wanted to. It takes a tremendous amount of effort and fortitude to get through everything that these guys did, so congratulations, and let's look forward to 21.
That's right, 2021, and congratulations to all the Pro 2 drivers. I was definitely thoroughly impressed with the talent of driving and just all the execution and all the risks. Thank you, guys and gals, so much for joining us. On behalf of Lorette Nickel, Ryan Sage, I'm Jared Deanna. Tune in tomorrow for the final round of the Type S title fight. 1:15. Thanks, Kemp, our director. Give me the wrong time. 1:15 is from what I understand. Join us.
Boy.
Check the schedule, all right? So send it. We'll see you online or see you another time. A champ is crowned in the Link Engine Management Pro 2 Championship, and that's Dmitry Brutsky. And a winner here at Irwindale House of Drift, Mike Power. We'll see you at the podium. We'll see you tomorrow. Send it.